Well, good day, footy fans, and welcome to Anzac Day in the Southern Football League. Thanks to Paladin Sport, it's the round 3 game of the week, exclusively on Filming Footy. As our nation pauses, reflects, and commemorates those who have served and sacrificed for us, we come together to play a footy game. Compelled by the occasion to fixture the best match we can, it's last year's grand finalists meeting again. Thanks to Pro Build Australia, Air Diffusion Australia and the Aussie Inn ad Hackham is the defending premiers, the Cockledivers of Port Noarlunga, hosting last year's runners-up, the Vikings of Happy Valley. My name's Phil Hurd, and thanks so much for joining us here at Porties on this very special day. Joining me to call all the action, my commentary colleague, Ollie Riddle. Ollie, welcome to the broadcast.
It's fantastic to be here. Huge occasion as we watch the B grades final quarter. A few minutes to go in that match. But it's just a wonderful moment. Not often do you get to not just commentate, but play in an Anzac Day game.
No, it turns out that Anzac Day falls on a Saturday, so regular scheduling in that regard. But I think it's a really great way to pay tribute to the occasion from a football sense, to program your best possible game. And that's what we have in front of us. Last year's grand finalist, Porties and Happy Valley. Last year's grand final was something else. Sensational match. Let's hope we get something half as good today.
I think we will, and it's a bit of a revenge opportunity for Happy Valley, because last year they were the best team. For the entire competition from start to finish, Happy Valley were top, but just fell in the final few minutes against the Cockledivers. So there's a bit of revenge seeking in their minds, I reckon.
Yeah, some people call it a grand final replay. Nothing will replace what happened last September. The flag, the cup, it's here, the shield, and all that will be here at Port Noarlunga. But you're right, it is a chance at a bit of revenge to try and right some wrongs. And that's why you do tend to find on these days that the runner-up from last year does come in a little bit stronger. The B grade, just a couple of minutes to go. Porties 4-2-26, Happy Valley 11-16, 82. Your thoughts on the strengths of both sides today?
Well, I think it's very evenly matched. I do want to point out, I think only 7 of last year's 22 premiership players are playing today for the Cockledivers. Yep. So they're still a very good side. But, a lot is missing. A lot is missing out of Port Noarlunga. But there's, as I said, quality is everywhere. Paredes has come back from his trip in Darwin. He was last year's male medalist. He returned last week with 3 goals, featured in the best players. So they'll be thrilled to have him back on board today. And Tommy Dix is back into the side as well.
Yeah, some of their best players from last year. The medal went to Zachary Sproul. Billy Cook was huge. Paredes, as you mentioned, was huge. They're all back in the lineup. Joined by, I guess, one of the biggest recruits in the league in the off-season, Lockie Murphy. How many times do you find a 120-game AFL player playing down here in the Southern Football League?
Very, very rarely. And you would know more than me with community football. Where do you play these AFL-type players? Where would you put him?
I'd put him everywhere that I can whilst he's... it's such a case-by-case basis. For Lockie Murphy, he played 17 games AFL in 24, just 5 last year, and he finds himself off the list. So is he still thinking I could play AFL again? I'm not sure. Or is he just saying, look, AFL's done, I'm going to go and get myself a real job, and I'm just going to play footy with some mates, take the money, enjoy. A whole range of mindsets. And we're going to see where Lockie Murphy fits with that today.
Absolutely. In round 1 against the Wineflies, he started at half back and moved to half forward. I like to see him start in the middle, really have some tempo, but I think he's going to be the man to fix up any problem. The issue down back, put him there. Issue up forward, shove him there.
Yeah, well, he'd be, you're right. Where there's a problem, he might be your go-to fix-it man. He's already had a very good start in the Crocodiles' first 2 games lost to Ranella and then a big win last week at Morford Vale. The Resies are over. Ollie, you've got Anzac Day duties to attend to.
I'll head over.
But it was a big win to Happy Valley. Their first today, by the way. 11-16-82, the Crocodiles 4-2-26. Earlier today, and it was the under-13s. The first 3 games went the way of the host. Port Noarlunga went to 3-0 in the under-13s, a 19-point win for Happy Valley, who remain winless. It was 7-8-50 to 5-1-31. As you see, the defending champs take the field. Under 15s, it was Port Noarlunga by 60 points, 13-3-81. Happy Valley 3-3-21. Under 17 and a half, this was a close one. Happy Valley got to within a goal with a minute to go before the Crocodiles steadied. It was Port Noarlunga 8-5-53. Happy Valley 6-5-41. A 12-point win. But as just mentioned, in the Bees, Happy Valley, they go to 3-0, I think, 11-16-82. Port Noarlunga dropped to 1-2, 4-2-26. So as the teams have come out, I haven't seen the Viking squad yet, unless they're hiding out the back somewhere. We will have a presentation of a B grade medal. Every grade has had a medal. And there will be the Captain Jane Stanley Malpas medal, which will be for the as Happy Valley takes the field. You might notice in a special Anzac Day jumper, which up close looks resplendent. Hopefully we'll get a couple of close-up shots of that. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. That's Josh. Thank you, Josh. How good's this? To get those shots. So there will be a few different numbers that we'll try and let you know as the day goes on. Very rare occasion that we have a team numbered 1 to 22 because that's what they ordered the jumpers as. Meanwhile, we're getting the teams, the Bees, lined up. We've got Ollie with the mic within range to pick up all the audio, and we will be bringing you that. I want to thank the sponsors. Paladin Sports are our main sponsor today, Made to Win. Great to have them on board. We Know Sport. We're renowned for our quality custom teamwear, our reliability and our service. We make ordering easy. We deliver on time, and we make sure everyone wearing Paladin feels like a pro. Also for our broadcast sponsors, thanks to Filming Footy, ProBuild Australia for all your renovation repairs, Air Diffusion Australia, your one-stop stop for air conditioning trade centre, and the Aussie Inn at Hackham, part of the RD Jones Group, and lastly, Sanderman, Deman & Co. Real Estate. We will go down to our presentation, which will be key player, and that will be Chris Martin, who is from the Port Noarlunga and Christie's Beach RSL. Can also see Steve Greening there, who is the president of the Southern Football League, and Katrina Hilliard, who is the local member.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Port Noarlunga Football Club on this grand final rematch, and obviously a very, very special day today. Anyone that witnessed the magnificent dawn service at the Port Noarlunga Christie's Beach RSL this morning, it was just very well done, and obviously we want to thank our servicemen and servicewomen that have sacrificed so much for this magnificent country, and we want to thank everyone for coming out here today and supporting this match. We've had some great matches so far, but anyone that did get to go to the dawn service this morning would have seen this man there who wants to say a few words. Can you please put your hands together for Vice President of the Port Noarlunga Christie's Beach RSL, Mr. Chris Martin.
Thank you, Betsy. Thanks everybody for coming here. I appreciate this is a football game and not a RSL event, but it is important that we do celebrate our forebears. And with that, I'd like to say the ode. If you can, please be upstanding. They shall grow not old as a weed loaf to gold. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget. Thank you, everyone. Best luck to both teams, especially Port Noarlunga.
I've got some great pictures.
Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation in the commemoration. Yeah, doesn't matter how many times you see it. Well, it's something special, and just the sheer silence with 1,000 people around this ground is something you never see or hear at any other time. So teams will now get ready for the game. Ollie has picked up his mic. Hopefully you heard everything okay. And we'll give you a preview very shortly. There are other games on in the Southern Football League today. We'll aim to give you regular scores, at least at half-time into the game. We do have the coin toss, which we should go to right now. I had a practice run. Happy Valley want the breeze. They will get that in the first quarter. Ollie Riddle rejoins the media centre. Ollie, you're out there. The breeze, how strong do you think it is?
Well, my focus is more on the microphone, but the breeze, I'll be honest, I didn't really notice it too much. I don't think it's super strong that it's going to take over a game, but, you know, any breeze is helpful.
So players are warming up. We're not exactly sure how much time they're going to get to warm up, so this could be a short pre-game or a long one. What I might do is just go through the other games in the round and get your expert opinion, Ollie.
Hit me.
Okay. We are going up to Ironbank, the undefeated Thunderer. They played one game. They are hosting the undefeated Flaggies. Interesting ground, Ironbank. Very, very circular from memory. Your thoughts on how that will pan out?
Well, it is by far the smallest ground, I think. The 50 metres line is only about 30 metres out, truthfully. You pick Flagstaff because they're one of these top 4 giant teams of the league at the moment. But, you know, Ironbank, while it's only one game, they're undefeated. They should be a bit of fire in the belly.
Okay. We go to Christie's Beach. We can almost see Bice Oval from here. It's just over the hill where Christie's Beach competitive in a loss. The bad news for them is they're hosting probably the best team in the comp, Ranella.
I don't see anyone beating Ranella at the moment. A really professional win during the first 2 weeks against both teams playing today. I think Ranella, despite losing their only final last year, I think they could be the team to beat.
Might have fired them up. Big game for these two clubs down at Shark Park. Aldinga winless, Morpeth Vale winless. Premiership points are going to be given out even if it's a draw. Your thoughts?
This is the game these two clubs always look forward to every year because one of them's going to win. I'm going to tip Aldinga home ground advantage. You know, I think Aldinga, their losses so far have been worthy. You know, they haven't lowered their colours too much, whereas Morpeth Vale at home last week they got smashed.
Yeah, did get smashed by Port Noarlunga, who had the loss on our stream game to open up the season to Ranella and took it out with 130 points on the scoreboard. Just quickly, the league sponsors, do want to thank them, the Southern Footy League Round 3, including Air Diffusion Australia, So Cloudy Web Design, SA Landscaping Supplies, the Master Plumbing Association of SA.
Also got the Flerio Milk Company, the Paladin Sports, Sharon Sports Centre, also All Frames and Mirrors.
Along with Belgravia Apparel, the PW Collection, Dartfish, Youth and Sports Foundation and the first quarter. From the teams last week, 4 changes for Port Noarlunga. Coming in, Tom Dix, Richard O'Grady, Max Savage and Jaden Kapler. Coming in, 2 changes for Happy Valley. Coming in for them, number 1, Nicholas Frisbee Smith and Jaden Little. The scene is set. Anzac Day football. Amazingly picturesque setting with a full car park. People ready to see these 2 teams go at it once again. We're just ticking off. We got 6, we got 6, we got 6. And we got your commentator to get us underway. You're with Ollie Riddle.
It's the 21st edition of the Southern Football League's Anzac Day Clash. It's Port Noarlunga, it's Happy Valley. We are underway as the umpire puts the ball in the air. The siren's gone. Players underneath the football. The game is set and moved along. 22. That's a nice tap there from O'Connor. Play's going to move along just forward for Happy Valley ever so slightly. Could get a ball up here. Umpire blows his whistle. Stalemate so far to start this quarter. Who would you really like to see get the jump first? Who needs to jump?
Well, Happy Valley have the breeze. That does put a little bit of extra pressure. As they take some time to settle down as expected. Not much in the way of possessions early on. The Vikings and Port Noarlunga. I was reading with interest during the week. You go back 5 seasons, 2022. Port Noarlunga winless wooden spooners. Now they're here as the defending champs. As Happy Valley aim to go forward, there'll be another stoppage. I think we've had 1 kick, maybe 2 in this game thus far.
And 4 stoppages. No score. Our umpires are Alex Kerr and Alex Garlick for the A-grade match today. Match of the day here on Dartfishers Filming Footy. As ball splacked out to the side from Jones. Kick was pretty good though. So a mark's taken. First one of the match. And it goes the way of Happy Valley. And I don't know about you, but Gil looks like he might be lining up from 50.
Yep, there is a 50-metre arc there.
He kicked 2 goals in the first round and then 26 last year. Knows where to find the big sticks. From 50 metres, Gil's going to unload. Umpire's blown his whistle. And it's going the way of Port Noarlunga.
Okay.
50 metres.
Didn't like the kick. Or was it a 50? No score on the Sportal scoreboard. We'll talk more about that around half-time. New here to Port Noarlunga will be officially... I don't know, what do you do with a scoreboard? You don't christen or baptise it? What do you...
Throw a wine glass at it? Is that christening?
We'll find out.
We'll find out as they unleash their brand new scoreboard in round 3. Nonetheless, pushed along the outer wing. Strong mark. That came from Aphrodite's. Who's going to just put it towards the middle of the park. Cut off. That was a little bit silly. It's always dangerous when you go towards the centre of the ground. Can work in either sides. Paredes, probably Port Noarlunga's best player. Moves the ball along to Murphy. 120 games with the Crows. Pushed out wide. Mark's taken by Howley. He's just going to stop, ponder, wander. Now the kick's forward. No one really there for presence for Port Noarlunga. And suddenly it's Happy Valley straight off a half-back. Wiseman, good intercept. Cut across really nicely. Ortman's there for the handball. Didn't quite get the journey to him. And the boundary umpire is going to throw it in.
Wiseman, the Koenig lookalike.
He's a Koenig lookalike.
Hair. He's got the headband. He's all set. Throw in. Port Noarlunga's in. Taken out of the ruck contest by O'Connor. Hand pass. The Vikings going forward to a reasonably open line. Mark was dropped by the Cockle Divers. Now it's open in space. A race for the ball. Getting there first was Goodman Glasson. And he needs no space. Little time to snap truly. 4 goals last week. 1 goal in the first opening minutes of this one. Happy Valley. Strike first.
Straight away and right in front of the crowd too. That's a real highlight moment for Goodman Glasson. How many goals did he kick last week? 4 last week.
6 for the season and 55 for the Thunderers last year. One of 3 new players to Happy Valley this year. Dylan Carl wearing 16. He's also from the Thunderers. Must be a package deal maybe. And also Adam Cahill. Who's come up through the C's and B's, getting his A-grade run this season. So, both teams have very strong local roots in terms of juniors that are now playing A-grade, and it's always good to see the players making their way up and playing their first season in the top tier.
Ball's back in the middle. In fact, it's straight out through Kapler. Push towards half forward for the Cockle-Divers. O'Grady takes time to pick it up. Seen my man. Used to play for Christie's Beach. Has pushed it wide. Was on the fringe at Christie's Beach in 2024. Won a premiership with Port Lunga 2025. Yep. Awesome start for him at his Cockle-Divers first season. I think the second season will prove just as good.
One of many. I've got 30 players out here today who have gone through a SANFL system, mainly the juniors. South Adelaide, of course, being the main one, but a few at Sturt West, North Glenelg. Long kick out towards the boundary. It will not be collected, and it will end up being a throw-in.
There's a lot of players that South Adelaide pick up just alone, let alone the other SANFL clubs. A lot of juniors go through there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Port Noarlunga, chances are you're in South Zone. If you're in Happy Valley, is kind of on the border with Westies and Glenelg, depending on where you live, which is what determines the junior zone of SANFL you're involved with.
So free kick's going away of Port Noarlunga. Not quite sure what it was. Paredes is going to arc to the right. No, he zigzags to the left. Suddenly the ball's inside 50. Mark can't be taken, or can it? It has been paid. A double grabber for Happy Valley. Strong defence. And he was just first to the football there as he pushes it past to Hamilton. Hamilton along the inner end, right in front of us here. Mark's taken nicely by Rogers. Short kick just turns it straight over. Silly to Gill. Sorry, to Dix. Gill to Dix.
So Dix, one of the 4 inclusions for the Cockle-Divers this week, to another one in Jaden Kappa. That's a famous name down south. So Porties line up to go along to the 15-metre arc. Leading out for the ball was Sproul, couldn't take it. Porties still keep possession, working it through hands at the moment. Now comes the good kick. Lands right on, if there was a logo, I don't think there is, on the middle of the Cockle-Divers shirt. If there was a logo, it would have landed right on it. And Zebediah Sinclair.
Zebediah.
Last goal. A-grade, 10th of August 2024 against Noarlunga. Played only Bs last year, 21 games, 51 goals. He knows where the big white ones are.
A long
Just
time
got to
in
adjust
between
with the breeze. A couple of big Porties flags to help, and he has missed to the near side. First score for Port Noarlunga. They are 1. Happy Valley, they are 2. Happy Valley, 1 straight 6. 7 minutes gone the first quarter. Hope you're enjoying this one. Thanks to Paladin Sports on Filming Footy.
So we'll go right back towards the car park here to grab this football. It's an interesting ground here, as you see the beautiful view of the Onkaparinga Hills in the background. Just over all of these cars is the wetlands, and I tell you what, snake infested. Would not want the footy to go over there.
I've heard a few kangaroos venture over here for a bit of grazing on the grass.
They certainly love it. It's a bit of a feature down south. As we pushed out towards the outer end, Mark's taken really nice from Jones. He's going to wait before he moves the ball. Screaming man was Cahill. Couldn't hold the mark though. Port Lunga, this is their moment from half forward, dashing forward with Campler, and can't quite get a man in front. Opportunity still around Sproul. Couldn't pick it up, and the umpire's going to call that his.
Lockie Murphy involved in that spoil that set Port Noarlunga going forward there with the turnover. Because we've got very important duty today, Ollie, in having the Anzac Day medal.
The Captain James Stanley Malpas Medal, a respected Wollonga local, a soldier, of course, for the 27th Battalion in Gallipoli and France.
Winner of the Military Cross, and very worthy to have that medal named after him. Ruck contest, it was kicked out of nowhere by the Cockle-Divers, and in the end into the lap of Sammy Flett, not to be confused with, I assume, brother Jack in this Vikings lineup today. Only one Hamilton, that's Liam.
So play's gone on, a bit of a stuff up there. Wiseman will take the rewards, and it's a high ball. Not sure you could call that 15. Play's going to move on. Smooth moves from Little, and away will come the Vikings through the centre of the ground. High one-on-one contest, gets to the back, the fist forward, maybe to the detriment of Port Noarlunga. Could well be. Handball puts Hamilton in loads of space, and his shot at goal is let all the way through. Happy Valley with the first 2 goals on the board.
As mentioned, only one Hamilton today. Brother Lachlan is not playing in the Rezzies either. But Liam, has only ever played for Happy Valley at community level, did go through the Panthers 18s and 16s program, was one of quite a few Vikings. I think I've got about 8 that played every game last year, kicked 6 goals, already got 9 for season 2026.
He would be loving it. I know I have here 7 goals in round 1. Is that true?
Might be the other one.
Oh, that could be the other one.
I think that's Lockie. I will check. I will. You call some footy. I will check. I don't want to give people incorrect information. Not the first time I've confused 2 people with similar names and similar first initials.
A lot of our numbers were swapped around earlier this afternoon, which confuses us even more. Kurt's going to swap sides here and face away from the club rooms. Plenty of car parks. Plenty of cars in the car park, I should say. As Bulls back up. That time it was Thompson in the ruck for Happy Valley. And umpires called play on here. Bulls come out. That was well umpired, in fact. It's going to go over the head of Sprout. He had to bend his arms back for that. And seen lovely, lovely kick. Level-headed. He didn't go for goal there. He could have. Instead, he passes off to Carpeney, who kicked 52 goals last year, I believe. Just
the fact check. William Hamilton has 9, 1 today, 1 last week, 7 in the opener against Ordinga.
There you go. I was right.
I think
Put that down. 1-0.
I thought I was wrong, but anyway.
1-0 for me.
No. We're not keeping score.
I'm keeping score. Losers say we're not keeping score.
I just want to get the medalist right.
Oh, me too. Carpeney's going to roll from 50. Normally a pretty good shot, especially from long distance. That one's not going to make the journey. Sprout there with 2 Happy Valley Vikings. And we'll put that through for a minor score.
Just a note, as they're about to kick it, do not say usually a good shot. Because that... more often than not, you get a kick like that. But anyway, it's just amazing how often that happens.
Strong mark there.
Kramer on the centre wing brings it back in, ball towards the T-Saucer and the umpire. We'll tell the umpire shortly. Tucker, open forward line. That's a great tackle by Jaden Close. It spills to Cahill, who dobs it. Happy Valley are 3 for 3 with their shots on goal. And for Cahill, that is first goal for A-grade this year.
2 real goals in that member's pocket there, and they're fired up, the Vikings. As soon as they get it down there, they cause a score, and that score is a goal.
So just his second game for A-grade. Did come to Happy Valley in 2023 from Ranella, played 17 B-grade games last year. So again, another one taking a step up. And look, both sides have had, we're not doing an inside 50 count, Ollie, but pretty even either end. But behinds for the Cockle Divers, nothing but straight 6s for Happy Valley.
They're certainly using the wind as we'll ball it up here. Centre in the ground. Alex Garlick with the umpire who throws it up, and Vikings will come away with the football. So straight away they go inside 50 again. Mark should have been taken, it wasn't. And umpires pulled out a free kick heading the way of Port Noarlunga.
So was Liam Hamilton involved in that early clearance? He's having a busy first quarter. Ooh. Coming into lay interference on that was the captain, Spacey. Another one into the pocket. This one will register Happy Valley's first behind. Guzman Glasson couldn't quite get there. But on the Sportal scoreboard, 13 minutes gone, first quarter on Anzac Day. The Vikings are 3-1-19. Port Noarlunga, trailing by 16 points, are on just the 3 behinds.
Not a great opportunity for Savage there, who turned that over. Luckily, just a behind, as we're deep to the outer wing here. In front of some Crows chairs. I love my Outback chairs. I've got about 6 at home, all for me too, including one really, really big one. Cost $170. Talk about a waste of money.
So chairs are going to be our thing this week. Okay.
Well, it is a really, really big chair, and I only get to use it like once a year. But, you know, it's worth a photo. Ball's back in. O'Connor does the ruck work. And umpire's just going to wait on it a little longer. And now we'll call for a ball up.
Oh, a little bit of push and shove. I was waiting to see, because sometimes you do see in these rematches a little bit of feeling about them. Sort of feel compelled to do something on a day like this. Another clearance, Happy Valley. They are winning the one-on-one battles and they've got a mark. And it's going to be Nicholas Kramer, who was best on ground in a losing effort on grand final day. Kicked the goal.
He kicked a lot of goals last year, I believe, as well. Kicked 74, the most for Happy Valley.
Yeah.
So this is their man up forward. They've got Goodman Glasson, who is a fantastic player in his own right, but he can be a real good 1-2 punch duo with Kramer.
Straight in front, about 30 metres out. Goal umpire barely has to move except to raise both arms and salute. And with that, Happy Valley are off to a flyer. They are 4-1-25. Port Noarlunga goalless, just the 3 behinds. 15 gone. Happy Valley have what I consider a reasonably strong breeze, and they are making the most of it.
They certainly are. I'll tell you what, before the game, I would have predicted Port Noarlunga to show up, especially in this first term after the Anzac Day presentations. But at the moment, the Cockle Divers seem to be still stuck in the change rooms, as they would say.
Yeah, well, in the previews, I think I picked Happy Valley, Flaggies, Ranella, and Aldinga as my 4 winners.
Well, I was going the Cockle Divers today.
It's good that we disagree, especially the match we're commentating.
Pushed out further wide for the Cockle Divers. One-on-one opportunity. Good position, Happy Valley. That was Riley Jones, who holds the mark, wants to move it to the middle of the ground. And through the middle of the ground they go. Take a bouncer, not another. And then, just overcooks the kick. Tried to land it in the hands of Stringer and couldn't quite.
Harry Spacey's had a couple of open runs through the middle in this first quarter, the captain, so not sure how much tagging is a thing in this competition. You'd think Lockie Murphy might be getting a bit of attention from the Vikings this afternoon. So with Port Noarlunga at the moment, I'm pretty sure if I call them Porties, that's acceptable local language.
Yes, that is acceptable.
Porties is the term? Okay. But again, it's Happy Valley. On the turnover they've made, Port Noarlunga pay. It's with Adam Cahill. Takes some time to assess the options. Heads for the hot spot. Lovely intercept there, I think, by
O'Grady.
O'Grady. Playing a little bit of kick to kick at the moment, Ollie, as Howley goes up, just didn't bring it down. Out of bounds throw in front of quite a few people who reverse the cars, have the boot up, and they're sitting there comfortably watching some great footy.
Absolutely. It's the ball's thrown back in from our boundary umpire. Knocked forward and the handball behind him. That was really nice. Got it to Spacey. And now the netball tap forward. And again, there's just no one to kick to in that circumstance. I believe that's O'Grady who's cut it off. His short kick is at 15. Umpire says yes.
It is
Tommy
a
Dix.
northwesterly breeze. So straight down the ground with a little bit of side breeze to the outer side. But we're seeing a lot of ball on that outer side at the moment.
Straight down the ground. Indeed goes to football as well. Potentially cut off. Mark Stacken from Kelly.
So Kelly from Murphy. Now they bring it. Thank you very much. Ask and you shall receive. Ortman with the kick. Faked out the defender by thinking he was going to Wiseman. Now to the hot spot, or what do you call it, the danger zone. Happy Valley are there in numbers. No prior opportunity determined. Was intended for Flesvader, but did not have a chance to get rid of it. Sproul and O'Connor, I'm not sure if that's the fairest ruck competition you're going to see today. Spills out to Close. Close does very well to avoid getting tackled. Back to Cook.
Oh, he's
Cook
gone there.
could not do the same. Happy Valley ball.
Straight away, they flood down the other end of the ground. Umpire's blown his whistle as the mark is taken along the outer wing. And a big boomy ball all the way to the back. A wasted opportunity almost. Went on. The pressure on there, that was really nicely done by Tucker. But unfortunately, he's not going to reap the rewards now as a looping handball over the top for Port Noarlunga. They've got a man, it's Kapler, who won't get the journey. Smothered off the kick. Frisbee Smith, and now Kramer has a shot at goal just shy of the right side of the post.
Certainly every time they go forward, Happy Valley look dangerous.
Dangerous indeed. Yes.
And there's been a fair few turnovers that have occurred around the 50-metre arc and on the wing. So I can see Alan Singh there just on the interchange bench along with Zach Avranaitis from the Vikings, ready to come back on and get into this action, which has gone 19 and a half minutes. 23-point lead to the visiting Vikings. Kick comes out to the half-back flank, off hands. Sinclair wants a free. He's not going to get one. It's going to be a boundary throw-in.
So 4-2-26, Happy Valley lead to Port Noarlunga, just 3 points. Still goalless here, 19 minutes into this first quarter. Ball's thrown, backing along the outer wing. Umpire keeps yelling play on as the kick went high into the sky and now rolled back. Nice handball through. And look at this. Look at the space for the Cockle Divers. Handball over top's going to work out well. Right along the boundary line goes Carmen, and inside the middle of the ground. Sort of works out, but again, as I always say, it's dangerous to go through the center of the ground. But it can work out. Little shows a bit of something there, brushes them off. Happy Valley can really attack now. Got a man over the top. Can he hold the mark? No, he can't. O'Grady's thrown to the floor. Murphy's going to scoop it up with the handball and will pull it out wider to Close, who's just going to settle us down.
Into time on at Porties. Cockle Divers searching for that first goal. It has gone quarter time at Aldinga as Porties work it out. Aldinga kicked one behind for that first quarter. Morpeth Vale, 4-3-27. A 26-point lead to the Emus at the first break. Might have to go back and check when the last time Morpeth Vale won a game, because they did not win one last year.
My journalism sources are also saying quarter time at Christie's Beach. They're 3 goals for to just 4 points for an error.
Whoa!
Wouldn't see that coming as Carpenter puts it inside 50. It's going to be a rolling ball. Happy Valley pounce first. They got a couple of men out wide, one of which is Strenner, who drops the mark he definitely should have taken. Got plenty of men around the football. Pushed out wide for Cahill, who's going to go back inside, and mark is again dropped. Cahill runs to the bench, doesn't even know what happened. Oliver's dropped his kick as Port Noarlunga have the option to then go forward again. Right along the inner wing. Sin's going to have a run at it. Carmen also, who collects the man and not the football. Free kick mark, take your pick. And Happy Valley will settle us down here, who's had the wind in this first term and a hell of a lot of opportunity too. 4 goals to nothing on the scoreboard. Jones towards the centre of the ground. Hamilton out wide. The switch has worked for the Vikings. Plenty of room to run. Plenty of room to gather.
Yep, they switched it across the field. Now they bring it back into Jones. Again, an open corridor up the middle to look at some options. Finds one on the far side. That looks like Jack Fleet. Or Jack Flett. Flett. And he's going to shoot pretty much from the 50-metre arc. A little bit of a cross breeze to deal with, but it will give him a little bit of assistance.
The way they're putting them in today, I don't doubt him from that.
Yeah, the kicking's been pretty good. 4-2 to 3 behinds. 22 and a half minutes gone. Jack Flett looking for first goal of 2026. It won't get there. It'll land towards the front and it will spill towards the boundary line. Umpire says no disposal. Will be a throw in. Certainly reverse park is the order of the day at Port Noarlunga Oval. I don't think I've seen so many station wagons for years. It's off the pack. Don't tell me.
To go.
Off the pack to Cooper Rogers. That's a snap of class to the McLaren Eagles Junior. Played 7 league footy games for the Panthers of South Adelaide. That's his first goal for the season. And that, Ollie, is for mine icing on the cake for the Vikings of what's been a pretty good first quarter of footy.
Pretty good. That is an underestimation. Pretty good. This is fantastic. 5 goals to nothing. 23 minutes in. He kicked 33 goals last year, Rogers, including one in the grand final. Couldn't get his team over the line. But I tell you what, he'll be really pleased to get one there. Just to extend this margin to a 29-point lead here at Port Noarlunga Oval. Didn't expect this.
I expected Happy Valley to lead because they've got the breeze. Didn't expect him at this point to hold as Port Noarlunga have had 7 in the middle and 5 up forward. They've rectified that now with a due warning. Will we see a free later? We'll find out. And with that, just another stoppage right bang in the middle of the alternate circle. We go from one to the other.
Quarter time at Ironbank. Flagstaff 6-0.
Okay. So happy we did get a request during the week. We'd like scores around the grammar. We'd like them too. So hopefully you enjoy that. Between Ollie and a few other sources, we've worked that out for our sort of second game together. They've worked it through hands, the Cockledivers. Sing to Paredes. We've got a target with a mark in goal-scoring territory. And it's Zebediah Sinclair. Had a shot by the boundary earlier. This one a better angle and I think a little bit closer. Looking to be not kicked the goal this year, as mentioned, 51 in the Bees
last goal opportunity for Port Noarlunga, so I might just shut up at the moment.
Yeah. We've got a whole fan club just to our left here, by the way, Ollie. We
do.
The under 8s by the looks.
10 of them on the U.
See what happens? You don't say anything, and it was touched. Kick was great, but touched.
At least I don't call a goal when it's a point.
No, that's have been known to do that on the odd occasion.
28-point margin here, 25 minutes into the first term on the Sportal scoreboard. This brand new scoreboard for Port Noarlunga. We're going to hear all about it at half-time. Yeah,
do you like the fact we get a time clock? Very much appreciated. Was a bit lost with that one last week.
Right along to the outer wing. Good mark from the Porties. And they can send it straight back in here through, I believe, Ortman, who's given the handball off straight away inside 50.
See the breeze. Take that.
Into the breeze. Hamilton's pushed it wide for the handball. He's got to kick quickly. Sin did the bump, jumped off the ground. That would have been dangerous if he really collected. Hathaway, ball got away from him. And now it's really trouble time for Port Noarlunga. They get away through Hathaway. Mark's taking centre in the ground. Kapler right on the cricket pitch.
So Kapler with decisions to make. A lot of people yelling at him. They want the ball. He goes with a low penetrating kick inside 50. Which Happy Valley is that Sinclair? He's just put it on the boot, let the wind carry it halfway across the ground. It's hard. He's going to lob. It's going to lob with the Valleys. They've almost got a shot there by Oliver until Cook ran him down or bumped him off the ball. They bumped him off the ball would be a more accurate description. Suddenly we're playing fast coast-to-coast footy. Paredes in the middle. Some hands. Ooh. What a single tackle that is on Kapler. Should be holding the ball. It's not. I appreciate that it's not the AFL, it's not the SANFL, but
no.
I did think there was a bit of pro opportunity there in the tackle.
The tackle, he didn't hold the tackle.
Okay.
That was the thing. That was good umpiring there from Alex Garlick. And just gets the kick away there was Spacey, high and then hits the dirt quickly. And this could be ball, potentially high. He did slip. Play's going to move on right in front of us. Carpeney takes the mark. He could slow things down, but forwards love quick ball movement. And he does certainly that to Sprout. Comes up to meet a contest was Jones. Going to have a couple of players around it. Handball to Sprout was really nice. And the first goal for Port Noarlunga. It's taken 27 minutes of game time. The Porties have their first. It's 5-2 to 1 for Happy Valley's way. Sprout with his first goal of the match.
Yeah, big one for Porties to get the first one. That'll settle them down a bit. They've had a fair bit of the ball up there in the last 5 minutes or so. I think Happy Valley liked that, have a crowded, hard to score from forward 50 for Port Noarlunga, and if they can break free an open forward line up their end. But the turnover and nice play going back in. And a finish from one of their key players. Best last week, kicked 10 against Morfett Vale and kicked 3 and was the best on ground in last year's premiership game.
So ball's made its way back into the centre of the park. Umpire's going to throw it up, and we do. We're back underway after Port Noarlunga's first goal of the match. Took a long time coming, but it certainly was worth all the cheers. Need a couple of more to even it up. Free kicks found up. I think that was potentially high on Hamilton. Going to just put it over the top to the outer side. No mark taken. In fact, the boundary line, I think, will beat them all. Got a couple of campers in the back of a ute.
Pitch a tent.
Might as well pitch a tent.
It's not a long weekend here, but
Siren blows for quarter time. And all the headlines going in was Port Noarlunga and Happy Valley, the grand final rematch. It's only going one way, Phil.
Well, one way with a slight little indication we might have an interesting second quarter. If you're watching us and you're not here, let me tell you, there's a reasonably strong breeze according to the Port Noarlunga flags, kicking to the end that Happy Valley had in that first quarter, and Port Noarlunga will get in the second. All individual goal scorers thus far, I've got goals for Happy Valley to Cahill, Liam Hamilton, Cooper Rogers, Goodman Glasson, and Kramer. The single goal scorer kicked about 27 minutes into the first quarter to Zachary Sproul for the Cockle Divers. It is Happy Valley by 22 points. We will take a break. Thanks to our sponsors today, Paladin Sports. You're watching the Southern Football League. Thanks to Filming Footy. Welcome back. Port Noarlunga over your scene. You can see the beautiful Onkaparinga Hills in the background. One car, I assume that's a late arrival, trying to find a place to park. Go left, right there. No? Okay. Of course, 5 footy games on today. It did start with the under-13s. Port Noarlunga won the juniors, the under-13s by 19, under-15s by 60, and the under-17.5s by 12. It was Happy Valley by 56 points.
Look at the train come across the screen.
That's kind of magic. I mean, Elizabeth has the train in the background because it's like Sky Rail. It's up high on that huge
I wouldn't say
bridge.
Sky Rail.
Well, that's the Brisbane train, the air train of Brisbane Airport, which is on a big bridge. Of course, that's crossing the Paringa. So we do a little tourist stop. The footy game, we're not too far away from getting underway. Yep, good. Camera's back. I guess the question, Ollie, is that Happy Valley really used that breeze well. They managed to bag 5 goals from 7 shots. Can Port Noarlunga do something similar?
Well, I'm not sure they can because every time the Vikings went forward, just bam, goal. And brilliant goals too. It was something extraordinary. It's going to have to take a lot for them to mirror it.
Thanks to our sponsor, Paladin Sport. We know sport. We make sure everyone wearing Paladin feels like a pro. Here's our pro on the mic, Ollie Riddle.
Second stanza will begin with Alex Kerr in the centre on the ground. Kapler's been pushed into the midfield. We're underway now with Salai knocking it forward. Handball actually went behind him in the end. Umpires pulled out a free kick heading the way of Hamilton. Pushed out further wide. That's Jones, pardon me. And we're out in front in the outer wing. Just slowing it down. The Vikings have been so clinical going forward. We'll see what they can do with this ball. Spacey's taking the mark here. The skipper, that was a close one. That was like a cricket catch right on the grass there as the ball comes back through Carpeney. And now away we go through Sin. So Sin's going to push it wider. Handball worked out. Cockle Divers go forward. Mark taken. This likes to be Paredes. Inside 50, they go all the way to the back. Could have gone through himself. Sprout did touch it, I believe. Did it go through the goals or the points?
I think it went through the points, I think. But one of my bugbears in footy is when you half take a shot at goal. You either want to lob it top of the goal square or you got to kick it the full distance. Otherwise, that's really how your points tally adds up. Happy Valley have got it to the wing. Frisbee Smith to Oliver. He was tackled. Frisbee Smith reclaims it through Kramer. Kick down the wing in front of the Valley's bench, marked by Gerben Glasson. Too far out to score. He wheels around. Heads for your danger zone. Picks out, though, a man in blue and white.
Oh.
Umpire says play on. Maybe,
not sure why.
Maybe touched. It certainly went 15. Turnover. Hamilton. Snap. And
Smothered nicely.
Touchdown, which is only worth 1 point.
I got some brilliant news too. Not for the viewers or the listeners, but for you and me, we're getting free Cokes.
Woo!
Luxury here in the media box at Port Noarlunga Oval. Pushed out, well marked there, and he's going to get moving, Sproul. Away goes the Cockle Divers. Man right at the back's Carpeney. Look at this. He'll stroll on through. Goal number 2 for the Divers.
Yeah, and that's the difference having the wind can make. They saw how Happy Valley was able to move the ball quickly. First chance they had in an open play, and they just went bang. Carpeney got space. He had 3 last week, a goal in the granny as well. He knows where to find them. Man has been playing for A-grade Port Noarlunga. I've got since 2010.
2010.
Albeit, he did go to Tailem Bend for a year. He did go to OSB Lonsdale for a year, and he went to Encounter Bay for about 8 years. Then came back to where it all began.
I started school in 2010.
Which one?
Primary school.
Primary school.
Still having fruit time as we're back into the middle. Carpeney's been playing for years and years. 26 of them indeed. And we'll ball it up here in the centre of the ground. Got O'Connor and Salai, our ruckman for today's big event. Anzac Day clash. Pushed out further. This is Jones, and now on to Tucker. Tucker's going to take it inside 50. One-on-one at the back. Nicely come across was Dix, and he's punched it all the way to the line. And, of course, we need to remember Captain James Stanley Malpas, the Anzac Day medalist. You and I are picking that.
Yeah. It's making me more and more stressed by the minute. But we'll come up with someone. Hopefully he's played in this game and played up to the spirit of it. From the rock contest to another scrimmage, that was O'Grady. With it, we'll ball it back up. Happy Valley tap. Straight there through some cockle divers. A little fumble by Murphy. Has the time and poise and experience to recover. Kick it in the direction of the goal scoring Carpenter, but Happy Valley 2-1. Gets the hand pass out. And do notice as that came from Flett to Hamilton back to Lillis, who's changed jumpers, hence the hesitation. Beautiful thump from behind coming the way of Wiseman. Will be a throw-in. In the, I've got to think of my pockets. That's the northwest.
The northern end.
Yeah, down the Adventure Playground end.
The Adventure Playground and the Brown Playground.
Yeah. You spend much of your young days there, Ollie?
A little bit of time. I remember when they put in the fireman truck and the fireman pole. Oh, life changed there.
Yeah.
Right along the inner wing. Zeb, who's got a bit of height to him. Happy Valley's been called to play on and do so. Gill's taking the mark. Centre half forward. How's the kick? Nicely led up. Couldn't quite hold the mark. Came Kramer. Now far along the outer side. Kicked back inside. And we've got to take a few steps before we unleash. Inside 50 ball. Plenty of cockle divers there. Dix couldn't hold on. Smashed far and high. She'll be coming back though.
Ben Ryan in the middle. Happy Valley just playing with a little more system at the moment. Spacey gets it on. Looking for that kick, but again missed the target. In the end, probably a little easy there for Port Noarlunga to say, well, rather than rush this, we've got the mark, we'll play with it. Max Savage, I think, has the ball. No one else with a two multiple numbers today. Spills out the back again. Happy Valley have set up a nice wall here. I reckon Port Noarlunga have really only had the one inside 50, and that was the goal to Carpenter.
And they've got the wind.
It's been down this end of the field. Happy Valley have not added, or at least not added much, to as we've had the delivery. Thank you kindly. Courtesy of Port Noarlunga. Give me the classic cake. That'll be dangerous. Port Noarlunga's kick. And again, another intercept. Happy Valley trying to move it through the middle. They've got it onto Stringer. Now, this time on the turnover, they found Max Gill. Well, you know, they've had so many inside 50s in the opening 6 minutes of this quarter. This will be really their first shot in anger. I can tell you, Aldinga Morford Vale, remember how it was 26-1 at quarter time?
Yes.
27-26 in favour of Morford Vale.
The fight back.
Gill sends it way across off hands, and that will not even score. That's a throw-in. So, 7 minutes gone of the second quarter here at Port Noarlunga. 5-3-33, Porties 2-5-17. Just having a look to our right, Ollie. I know the ball's to the left. Some dark clouds gathering. I wonder if they're coming our way.
You are right. The dark clouds are gathering. And hopefully for our sake, they won't come our way as... Listen to this, ready? This is the greatest sound you'll ever hear.
Yeah, the screw top lid doesn't quite have the same effect, does it? Well, again, Porty's clear. To a contest on the wing. Right in front of your crew. We've got Josh on camera, Ollie on commentary. Yours truly, Phil Hurton. Happy Valley trying to move it forward. They gained some yardage. Jack Flett taking it out of bounds. Right in front of the applauding Vikings fans and the interchange bench.
So ball's going to come back in here, right in front of the Vikings, as Phil just mentioned. Ryan there. No, not Ryan. Pardon me. That was Thompson, and the kick is out on the full, all the way out, right in front of Port Noarlunga. Faithful this time. And there's plenty of them right across the ground.
Yeah. Oh, look, great numbers you'd expect on a day like today. It is a public holiday in South Australia. The shops are shut. But the footy is on.
Oh!
There's the fly. No grab to Goob and Glasson. That would have been specky because our cameraman Josh was right on that one. Right in front of us. Just didn't take it.
So ball inside, forward 50 for the Vikings. Bouncing football. In the end, 29 comes meet at that's Fless Fader. and coming along the outer wing. Wants to move it quickly, does nicely. Ball's taken by Singh. So Noarlunga move it up towards the outer wing. And now inside 50, Singh will go. It's a wider kick, hoping to find Stewart. In the end, he couldn't really get anywhere near it, but rolling towards goal. Little may take it over the line, doesn't. Plenty of time for him regardless. March taken by the Bunnings Warehouse umbrella.
Not a stream sponsor, I don't think. As Happy Valley have it on the outer side. There's the first onesie I've seen this afternoon. Into a onesie count. We're in the middle. The Vikings are off. Got a runner in Everiniadis. He goes towards the 50-metre arc. This is Seb Oliver to the top of the square. And not going to wait to going back and kicking it to take the set shot. He's just going to play on. And that, keep on it. Just got to wait for that player. Oh,
he's going to turn around. We'll see who it is. It's a fantastic goal regardless. Turn. He's still waiting.
He's refusing to turn.
He's going to turn.
Well, that's an important one because Tucker, okay. Tucker's first. Sixth goal for Happy Valley. They have all had individual goal scorers thus far.
So Tucker kicked 15 goals last year, 2 in the grand final as well, 1 on today's occasion. 6-3-2-5 is the score. Happy Valley leading there. And I'll do the maths quickly in my head. Ready? 9 plus 10 is 19 plus 3 is 22. 22-point margin here. As the ball's back in the centre of the ground with umpire Alex Kerr, very experienced.
Did you find, as your kid, as we were talking about your primary school days in, 2010, did you find that your 6 times tables came to you pretty easily?
Well, I was a natural at timetables. It's not that hard once you memorise it all. I can do all the way up to 12 times 12. Don't ask me my 13s though. So Kapler out of the centre of the ground. Murphy hasn't seen a lot of it, but does have big influence when he gets it. Sproul may be the target here. Over his head. Came off someone's boot. And the handball all the way back for the Vikings. Cole, and Mark is taken all the way back. As far back as Happy Valley will want to go. They need to push it forward. They certainly do. They can't quite get a mark as the ball's pushed over the line. Yeah,
kicked it in front of the old scoreboard. We will see the vision of the dedication. Maybe it's a dedication of the new scoreboard.
They should keep the old scoreboard.
I was about to say, could they open up another window and make that a commentary spot? That would be a pretty cool spot to call from, I reckon.
It would be a pretty cool spot, although I'm pretty happy where we are now.
Need a bigger window. You can put Josh on the roof.
Oh, I'm sure Josh will love that. So ball now up. That was a big leap coming from the Cockle Divers. Inside 50 they go. No one can hold on to that mark.
Kabang!
As Crichton smashed and taken down. He'll get a free kick though.
It was Dylan Carl. Came in a little bit on the rough side.
So Crichton has had a gap year with no footy last year in 2025. But, you know, he's...
Mystery, maybe played somewhere that Play HQ couldn't find him.
He's back on the horse, though. Yeah, maybe. He's back on the horse in 2026. Third A-grade game. And just brushes it to the far side.
Yeah. I was about to say, has not kicked a goal. Well, it's only his third game at A-grade level. Or is it? Yeah, it is his third game at A-grade level. Played 18 games in the under-17s 2 years ago. One of those rising up for the Cockle Divers, the new generation coming off their first premiership last year since 1997, I'm pretty sure. Happy Valley's last one was 2012. Happy Valley have 8 in the Southern Footy League. Port Noarlunga have 5. And they both expect to be in the mix again. Ranella as well, unbeaten. Flaggy's unbeaten. And according to your sources, Josh had a kick the first 6 against Ironbank Cherry Gardens. Full round of Anzac Day footy here in the Southern Footy League. From the clearance, Happy Valley move it nicely forward. Running hard, clearing some space. The kick, Frisbee Smith. I don't think he can mark his own football. I'm not sure that's allowed. He's slung to the ground, and that might be a
High tackle free it's going to be.
Ball up.
No. Oh, he's done all the signals. So knockdown. Only man in the ruck was Goodman Glasson. And we're going to have another ball up here. Thankfully, Portlunga got away with that one with no ruckman. Now they got a man. It's Zeb, pushed out wider in the contest. Ortman was underneath. It's going to be our third ball up in a matter of moments.
So 14 gone. Port have kicked the goal, but so have Happy Valley. So it's been a pretty even second quarter, despite Porties having a breeze.
Hathaway's on top of the ball here. We'll throw it up again. 50 metres out from Portlunga's goal, right in front of the Happy Valley faithful, who's come here in numbers, the Vikings. Right down the main south road for them, as Murphy decides to give and go. And off they will go there through Flesfada. There's a tricky name to say. Cut off there from flat and just bobs it over the top on the outer side. Still a long way from goal. And this is Tucker, our last goal kicker for the Vikings. Could pull it to the top of the square here. Instead, he waits for the running lead. It came from both directions. No one could hold on to the mark, and we will ball it up.
So Happy Valley have done very well. If you're looking at field position stats for the second quarter, it would have been in Happy Valley's half of the field. I reckon 80% easily. Port Noarlunga maybe 4 inside 50s for the quarter, maybe. The only thing against Happy Valley is they haven't put a lot of scoreboard pressure on, but then they have the runs on the board from the first quarter, so this helps them keep that lead. Trying to battle a few was Rogers. In the end, turns it over to Wiseman. Now it's Port Noarlunga ball on the centre wing. Here's Sproul. What can he do? He can centre the ball, looking for Carpet. He made a contest, but surrounded by Vikings. Battling hard for it with that was Carmen. Got a kick away, but that's... Yeah, look, doesn't matter what rules you're running. Every footy competition in the country, that's a Happy Valley ball.
Yep, right in front of Fitzy there, who gets his first kick of the day. First kick in 20 years for him, and he looks pretty proppy with too.
Yeah, he's recovering from his Anzac Day presentations.
So, outer side here for Happy Valley. O'Grady made a contest from behind. Umpire's blown the whistle here. Both players were arguing until Portlunga found out it was their free kick. I believe this is Zeb, Zeb Sinclair, who's going to walk it back for O'Grady. And that was barely 15.
You've got the ball. Don't argue.
You could tell because he immediately shut up when he found out. Pull on the outer wing here. Couldn't hold the mark. Tapped forward. This is nice stuff. Carpeney is going to roll on through. Oh, the give and go twice. The zig and the zag, and the mark for Sproul was fantastic.
We don't have a player today, free kick, unfortunately. The shimmy. I promised my boss at work that I would get shimmy into the call this weekend, and that was 2 really good shimmies.
Okay.
There you go, Don.
Shimmy is the word of the day, as that kick will be intercepted there through close. Inside ball could be dangerous. Well taken. And now Stewart's going to hand it off to Lockie Murphy. Lockie Murphy straight down the guts. And it's a couple of bounces before it really finds an opponent. That was Carl. And now knocked over to the side, and mark is taken.
17 minutes gone. Now, I had the margin at quarter time at 23 points, and I don't think it's, 21. So they've cut it, but not by a lot, Port Noarlunga, with Daryl Tucker, who has a goal this quarter. Dobs it into centre half forward. This time, right on the V of the Viking forward. And it's the man in the orange boots, Goodman Glasson, going to be part of that 1-2 punch. And we've got a big chance here, Ollie, of our first multiple goal scorer of the footy game.
Well, it is extremely exciting, especially for him, as he puts maybe his nose in front of our captain, James Stanley Malpas medal. You and I will be deciding that. Pressure's on. Pressure's also on for Goodman Glasson. And from just inside 50, it looks like it's going to be off to the left. Doesn't even make the trip. and Oliver can't quite help there. Portlanca take it away, right along the boundary, could potentially go out. Paredes, it sort of went out, umpire wasn't there to see. Moved on nicely through Crichton. Now suddenly his ball's with Frisbee Smith. Cut off there, Portlanca couldn't hold the mark. Ortman puts his head under it, potentially dangerous, and will throw it up.
Yeah, I think Porties, they don't want to waste any time with throw-ins or stoppages. They want to try and keep the ball moving, use the breeze. I guess what we saw out of that kick from Goodman Glasson, Ollie, was the effect of the breeze. That he was, marked 45, kicked just inside 50, did not make the distance.
That is concerning for Valley, but they certainly put on the goals in the first term when they had the win. Maybe more concerning for Port Noarlunga in the third term. We'll see how the win plays there as a high free kick's been called, heading the way of Spacey, the skipper.
He's been busy. I reckon he might be my favourite for the medal at the second.
Well, I was just about to say he's been good too, so I'm glad we're agreeing on that. Oliver went up. In the end, it's Kramer who can turn, snap. This could be a goal.
Oh, how did they mess that up?
Thompson has knocked it through for a minor score.
Kramer with the kick. Thompson, yeah, I'd probably take the mark if I was in his shoes. Slipped through the hands, just the one behind. Could have been so much more. 6-4-40, 2-6-18. That's the Sportal scoreboard, and we're about to go into time on of the second quarter.
Perfect timing. Murphy's going to take it off a halfback. Doing the kick-in duties today, Lockie Murphy, who was a forward for a Crows. That mark there was beautifully done from Liam O'Connor, our ruckman for the Vikings, who wants to go backwards.
Yeah, to the most defensive player, the most southerly player on the whole footy field. That was Lillis. Lillis goes across field. Now to Flat. Sam Flat. Okay, they're moving it with some precision. As soon as I said that, they coughed it up. Managed to get it back, though. Conceding territory. Cockle divers are putting pressure on. Paredes got a kick. Now they're off, or they're about to be off. Kapler. Well, he would have thought he was in the Bay Sheffield sprint, had an open field in front of him. But a free kick goes the way of Sam Flat. On the outer side, where we've seen a lot of the football this afternoon.
Wiseman made a contest of it, tried to keep the ball moving forward. In the end, bad bounce got him. Carpenter lays a big tackle. He's not a man I'd like to run into. Although I'd like to run into
I don't think I'd like to run into any of these. Bit too old for that.
There's some smaller blokes I think wouldn't cause too much damage. Then again, I once broke my arm trying to run and catch a tennis ball.
Okay.
So maybe not perfect for me.
Hey, look, Boundary umpire in the AFL on, was it Thursday night? Broken arm.
Yeah, I did
hit
see
by
that.
a football. They're a dangerous thing as the Vikings surge through the middle.
Ooh, so the kick there almost collected close in the head. Lucky that didn't happen. And now Kramer looked backwards, then looked forward. The no-look kick almost. The ball's still spurting around. Big tackle laid from Cahill. And now Wiseman is just going to pull it out towards the inner wing, right in front of us. Mark couldn't be taken from Flat. And now straight back through to Rogers. Man coming around was Kramer. This is Darnell Tucker, taken without it, holding the ball too. I reckon he dropped it first, then the tackle held on. Good umpiring decision. Murphy handball wider to Flass farther.
Yeah, that was Kramer and Goodman Glasson, the two forward towers for Happy Valley. Neither able to escape the defensive pressure of Port Noarlunga, who've already worked it inside 50. Quick movement down the other end. Does it sit for Sproul? He lines up for the kick and he has slotted it. Coast to coast play from Porties. And one of their most valuable players has two of Port Noarlunga's four. They need that one with half-time imminent to do something about this deficit.
Zachary Sprout kicked how many goals last year? 77 for Port Noarlunga. He kicked 10 goals last week, 4 against Ranella in round 1. If Port Noarlunga win, they always get a big score from Zach Sprout.
Yeah. And he kicked his biggest 77 goals, as you mentioned, Ollie. His biggest return was 11 goals. And if I gave you a chance to guess who he kicked it against, it'd take you about 8 times to work it out.
Flagstaff.
Ranella.
11
goals against the Wineflies.
The things
Hope he got the 3. There are votes in the mail medal for that.
Also played 17 games for GWS. Unfortunately, was a fringe player with the likes of Jeremy Cameron and Jeremy Finlayson there. You're not going to get over him.
And if they're the calibre of your teammates, imagine what you can bring to this level.
So Kerr throws the ball up. Players are underway. And we're going to have our ball up there as we're in the second stanza of this match. Although the Sportal scoreboard says quarter number 3.
Now, that's not correct. I do struggle with some things, but I can count quarters.
You can count to 4?
I can count to 4.
Right along the inner end, someone I umpired today didn't know what 3/4 time meant. I had to explain that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I head back to the chat? I think it was a hockey game and only 3 periods. Ice hockey has
3 periods.
Ice hockey has 3 periods.
Are they called thirds?
No, they're called periods.
How big's a period, though, normally?
20 minutes. And then you have intermissions.
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 All fancy words.
Yeah.
As the ball was right in front of our commentary side, takes on a couple half away, and then just bowls the kick forward from his teammate. Ortman taken with the football, and it's been pushed all the way from Spacey to Jones. Kick couldn't be marked, and we're going to end up all the way back with the football, and just coughed up. That was silly.
That
from
wasn't
Ryan
the greatest kick.
The co-captain there. You're not no point booting it forward if you've got no target. You might as well just put it high into the sky.
Murphy working the 1-2. Last time Porty's got it on that wing, they managed to work it well. Paparidis hand passed it straight to Little. Jaden Little was off, but there's a free kick against Paredes. He will take it.
For Paredes.
For Paredes, but the infringement was against Paredes, and Paredes gets the free. Something like that. Long kick into space. It's a race for pace, which Happy Valley just win for the moment. Lots of pressure, though, under that Sportal scoreboard.
Well tackled.
And on half-time, I think Happy Valley just escaped a little bit there because Cockle Divers had a good last 5 minutes. But even though the deficit is reduced, Ollie, I'm going to call that Happy Valley's quarter.
It's Happy Valley's half is what I would say. Really strong performance. They lowered their colours last week against a really professional side in Ranella. And, you know, no better option to respond against the team that gave away the premiership to last year.
Yep. So after leading by 23 points at quarter time, it is now a 16-point margin in that quarter. Port Noarlunga kicked 2-3 with the breeze. Happy Valley. Just the 1-1 with it, with lots of inside 50s. But Ollie, your sources have been feeding you information.
We got a halftime score at Christie's Beach, Bice Oval. Ranella, 5 goals, 8. They are now in front of Christie's Beach, 3 goals, 6.
Dingo, I can tell you that the Sharks, what a quarter. They kicked 8 goals.
8 goals?
That second, goalless in the first, 8 goals in the second. Morphy Vale, 4 goals in the first, 0 in the second. It's 8-4-52 Aldinga. Morford Vale 4-3-27.
Maybe the wind's playing more havoc down at Shark Park.
It's got to be a gale down there at the home of Aldinga. As the teams take a well-deserved break, we have a look at the Sportal scoreboard where we'll just leave the camera there because there's some sort of launch. We haven't quite got our word right for this, have we?
Presentation, maybe a curtain raiser.
Maybe they'll turn it off and on again.
We'll just pretend like we just never knew it was there, and boom, suddenly there it is.
And you can see Happy Valley under that scoreboard that shows them in the lead by 16 points. So for Ollie and I, we'll take a rest. For Josh, there is no rest. He'll keep the pictures going. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with a wrap, some thoughts, scores, and a whole bunch of stuff. Hope you're enjoying the Southern Football League. Thanks to Filming Footy. Welcome back, Port Noarlunga Oval. It's open. The scoreboard officially open. There you go. There's something you don't see every day. The unveiling of a scoreboard. Great to see. Big things happening down here at Port Noarlunga. I went down for a wander into the club rooms they've got there, which are very nice. Tried a little bit of the burger, which was very nice. Great things happening down here. The defending champs with a bit of work to do here. That Sportal scoreboard shows that they're 3-6-24, Valley 6-4-40. Let's go around the league, Ollie. Now, your sources have got some updates for us.
Well, it's not pretty if you're an Ironbank fan. At the moment, they trail by 15 goals to how many have they kicked? 0.
99-point lead, 102-3 in favour of Flaggies at halftime.
That's pretty disappointing on their end. We also did have a couple of other scores at Bice Oval in Christie's Beach. So Christie's Beach led 3 goals to nothing at quarter time. Ranella, 5 goals to nothing in the second quarter. Wind is playing a havoc at Aldinga and at Christie's Beach, and a little here, but it's not that big of a breeze.
No, we got the close one. Teams have kicked goals both ends. Morphettvale Aldinga. Morphettvale kicked the only 4 goals of the first quarter. They're underway in the third, about 5 minutes in. Aldinga have kicked 10 goals in a row. I don't even know the last time.
They kicked 10 goals for a season.
That's probably a little rude, Ollie, but okay. But no, it's Aldinga, 10-4-64, Morphettvale 4-3-27. That's a lead that's going to be very hard for the Emus to pick up.
Do they have the players? Do they have the mindset to come back from that?
Yeah.
Especially in a winnable game. That's worse. When it's a winnable game and you're down by that margin, that's when it really hurts.
Because this broadcast, our big broadcast of the day, sponsor Paladin Sports. We do thank Paladin Sports. We do thank them for their great support. Premium quality, low minimum order quantity, online club shop available. We know sport. We're renowned for our quality custom teamwear, our reliability, our service. We make ordering easy, we deliver on time, and we make sure everyone wearing Paladin feels like a pro. We thank them. For the Filming Footy crew, want to thank ProBuild Australia for your renovation repairs. Air Diffusion Australia, your one-stop for air conditioning trade centre tools. The Aussie Internet Hacker and part of the RG Jones Group, and Sanderman from Demand & Co Real Estate. Plus Dartfish Live Stats, the Sportal Scoreboard, Classic Clashes, UTF Trailers, Archie's Footwear will be giving away at Game's End, and Filming Footy. That leaves us, and it's great that we've got so much support from so many organisations, helps us get to air. The sponsors of the Southern Football League this year, Air Diffusion Australia, So Cloudy Web Design, SA Landscaping Supplies, the Master Plumbing Association of South Australia.
We also have the Flerio Milk Company, Paladin Sports, Sharon Sports Centre, All Frames and Mirrors.
And Belgravia Apparel, the PW Collection, Dartfish, Youth and Sports Foundation, and that is the sponsors. We've got to recognise them because without them, not only do we not have a broadcast, we don't have clubs or a footy league. So we do thank everyone, especially Paladin Sports today, our main broadcast sponsor.
As the players are finishing their warm-ups, they're in the huddles now. Captain James Stanley Malpas, he will be our Anzac Day medalist honoree. That's who it's named after. A respected Wollonga local, a soldier and a leader serving in the 27th Battalion in Gallipoli and France. He earned a military cross for his bravery. In fact, he was wounded in 1916, returned home to contribute to community life, later serving as the Southern Football League's president.
Yeah, a military cross winner, and that's what the medal is named after, and we have to decide a winner. We'll be taking some serious note in the third and final quarters of sort of who's your in and under kind of winner, who's getting into the I don't want to use the term battle, but who's getting into the thick of it.
Making the moments.
Making the moments, that's it. But Port Noarlunga have a job to do. Happy Valley. If you're using the cricket analogy, they've taken a first innings lead. Now they're going to bat a second time with the wind, which is still there. And we will see what Port Noarlunga will be chasing in the final quarter. We've got the 6-6-6 checked off. Time to get underway with the second half. Thanks to Filming Footy and Paladin Sports. You're with Ollie Riddle.
The siren blows for the 21st Anzac clash of the Southern Football League. The second half's underway. And O'Connor threw the middle of the ground. Had it been lost it. And huge tackle there. That was on Ryan Kelly, the co-captain for the Cockle Divers this afternoon, along with Parodies and Spacey for the visitors. Murphy, silky smooth. There's that word again, silky. Right out towards the inner wing. Talk about silky smooth. Singh tries to do too much. Handball came out, holding the ball. The handball was there. Umpire said, no, you didn't have enough time. That was umpire Alex Garlick.
Yeah, Nick Frisbee-Smith showing the how to tackle.
Her Frisbee Thomas right along the wing, almost out of bounds. Eventually it does go out of bounds. Touch, says our
And you
boundary
can see there
umpire.
from the shot, the crowd that's in front of the club rooms and the canteen. Thank you, Josh. Good numbers. Plenty of cars around the ground as well. Enjoying some Anzac Day footy.
With our local members, Chris Picton and Katrina Hilliard for Garner and Raynell, respectively. Both part of a re-elected Labor government here in South Australia. As O'Grady takes a little bit of time. Now Murphy, plenty of handballs around. Short kick from Dix, right over the head of his target. This gives Happy Valley an opportunity. Spacey in and under, and the tackle was laid. We'll have to ball it up here.
Yeah, already Spacey's got his hand on the ball a couple of times, and Port Noarlunga have been right there to lay the tackle. I think he was allowed a little bit too much room in that first half. We'll see how that plays out in this quarter. To Rogers, he's brought to ground by Kelly. Did get it away just inside 50. Everyone's claiming it. Umpire says, "Nah, on mine, boys."
Gill tried to claim a 5-metre mark.
Yeah, I know we have depth perception issues with something like that, but no way in God's green earth that was 15 metres. Again, Spacey coming in and trying to break free, but he's met straight away.
Howley.
Courtesy of Howley. So you can see they're right where the 50-metre arc is, not too far away from the centre square. It does strike me as a big ground here, Ollie, but maybe it isn't as big as I think it is.
It is a big ground. You're right. I think it's a very big centre square compared to maybe the average one. That's the beautiful part of the game. Not beautiful for the Lions people who have to draw it, but you can just sort of make it up and go on with it.
I remember my lad here playing under-8s on a Sunday morning. We just played across the field. That was big enough for an under-8s game.
So Sinclair wants to move on. In fact, it was Kapler there who trying to lay a bit of pressure, kicked out a little bit further. Head underneath came from Frisbee-Smith. Got the ball down there, as well as Lillis. Handball wider from Hamilton. Pushed all the way back, right towards the boundary line. Fleck couldn't do much of it. Kapler did really well there. Knocked it forward. Sprouse opportunity. Handball perfectly for Howley, who spiraled the kick, hit the wrong side of the football.
That's
Mark's
a
taken.
pass.
Extraordinary
Hey, Coach.
pass.
No, it wasn't a missed kick. It was an intended pass. To Nathan Lesvader.
So Nathan Flesfader, who's about 18, 19 years of age, I reckon.
Played in the South Adelaide under-16s last year.
So even younger than that, maybe 17 max. And his shot towards goal is just wide. In fact, it's hit the out on the point post. So not ideal moment for him. His big opportunity wasted so far.
No score. He hasn't kicked a goal at A-grade level. It's only his third game at A-grade level, but that first goal will have to wait. Happy Valley will bring it back in. They kick it towards the coach's box. Through some hands and more tackling and another stoppage. At the bottom of all that was Liam Hamilton.
So ball's going to be up here. Players underneath the football. Tapped out nicely. And now Vikings right in front of that commentary box here. Mark's taken. I want to move it on. Does so beautifully to Gill. Gill's kick right in front of a whole heap of cockle divers streaming at the football. But coughs it straight up O'Grady. Umpire says play on advantage. And the kick is off to the left.
Yeah, Rogers couldn't believe his luck. Then the umpire's whistle went and everyone sort of, can I go or do I have to stop? And then the owner says, no, keep going. Ended up being first score of the second half. I think a behind on 2 Happy Valley, kicking to the scoring end today where we have had 7 of the 9 goals.
O'Grady out towards the outer wing. No one could got hands on that ball. Hit the back of the pack. Flesfader struggled to pick it up. Jones did first time. And Flesfader has him. Second to the ball.
Yeah, Jones, Rogers, Spacey have been the engine room Liam Hamilton should give him a mention as well.
29 degrees today, yet someone's in a blanket there on the ute.
So that's the onesie.
The onesie, or an hoodie, I think they call them nowadays.
Now, sorry.
Lillis forward of the ball, and that one sails past the cars and bouncing all the way towards the Kangaroos' hotspot.
Is there a difference between a onesie and a hoodie?
No. Is there a difference between radio and a podcast? Not really.
Okay.
Is
if
there
you're
a
going to get
difference?
really technical, it probably is. But
There's lots of things that are the same but have a new term to them. A new 2020 term.
Well, I guess radio is live, or podcasts.
Some podcasts are live too, and some radio is pre-recorded.
Okay. I'll take your word on that. As Lockie Murphy at the defensive goal square brings it back towards our Sportal scoreboard.
So close here, told to play on. He certainly did play on. Good umpiring. And that kick right along the boundary. Multiple players went up. No talk. And it's Darnell Tucker rolling it through. Couldn't quite find any sort of target. Sings handball straight back to Tucker. Could go alone. Short kick, much better. Can't pay that mark, though. And he's flung around towards a goal. It's a minor score.
Yeah, Happy Valley threatening. I reckon if they can kick maybe... I don't know, if they get it out to maybe a 6-goal lead, and they've got it out to 18 at the moment, 6 goals will be pretty hard to peg back, you would think. Something certainly to be said for runs on the board. As the Porties bring it back, lots of white here. And was that touched or not, or is it last disposal? It was deemed not to be touched, so it sits with O'Connell, but now they won't have it.
O'Connor.
O'Connor, sorry. If it was
We're talking
touched,
about the street.
yeah, no, it was deemed to be touched, so that's boundary throw in.
Miscommunication there. I wish they'd just make one quick call and that's it.
Yeah, I reckon that was probably more better, just needed everybody's opinion. Frisbee Smith?
That one's a bit more obvious.
Yeah.
Right in front of the benches there. The young boundary umpire is going to chuck it back in. The technique to throw it in is tricky, especially when he goes to one hand like that. Get some distance on it as well. And here come the Vikings, although it's a fumble from O'Donnell. Hadn't seen a lot of it today. He's wrapped up by Fletch Fader. And we'll throw it up. In fact, it was Parodies.
One group haven't mentioned the umpires today. Field umpires Alex Kerr and Alex Garlick. So you get 2 Alexes for the price of 1. Brody Gaskin and Craig White running the boundaries. Alex Manning and Hayden Modra are your goal umpires this afternoon.
So pushed out further wide with Sproul along the outer wing. Tries to keep it in desperately. In the end, Flett's going to push it back to go forward. Spun around Jones and not to much avail.
Yeah.
Bit of push. Oh, look at it go now.
Crichton and Jones. It's Jones and Crichton. Speaking of hockey games, have you ever seen a fight in a hockey game?
I've never watched a hockey game without it just being fights.
You've got to, yeah.
I don't know what a hockey game looks like.
If that was a hockey game, umpire would have said, all yours, throw your gloves away, go for it. They punch and scrap for a minute. Then the umpires break it up when one's won. Then they both go and sit in the penalty box for 5 minutes.
Sometimes I don't even notice there's a hockey game going on at the hockey.
It's just a fight.
So Sproul couldn't hold that mark. Still deep in Portlunga's forward line. Carmen overran it. He's been quiet today. And the ball is wrapped up through Carpenter.
Yeah, I watched Canada-US hockey game.
That
It wasn't
was
the
the
Olympics
winter-
one. Before the Winter Olympics. The year before. And they had 3 fights in the first 10 seconds of the game. Anyway, back to this one. Happy Valley defending stoutly. They only allowed Ordinga to kick 1 goal in the opening round. Gave up a whole bunch to Liam Dare Huntley. He kicked 9 last week just by himself, but they've only allowed Porty so far 3. And we're getting well into the third quarter here, 9 minutes gone.
I've got a report for us. A onesie has legs.
A onesie has legs and an hoodie doesn't.
Murphy's free kick here went out of bounds.
Thank you. It's lovely to have fans that, educate us. Thank you. Ortman goes back to close. Yeah, we aim to be entertaining and educational. Across to Wiseman. We did our first and last botany class last week. Port Noarlunga. No great rush, even though they are down by 3 to 4 goals.
3 exactly. 18
Nice
point
mark,
margin.
Stewart. I reckon that's Stewart on the outer side. A lot of players running past as he bangs it long into the Colonnades Panther pocket. That's a good grab taken by Sproul, and he is in the 50-metre arc, I reckon.
Kicked 2 goals, 1 in each quarter so far. Kicked 10 last week. And I should mention, Nan C-grade and Mount Lofty C-grade played today.
Okay.
Nan won by 3 points.
Okay.
Mount Lofty kicked 4 goals, 6. Nan, 2 goals, 21, yet still won.
2 goals, 21. Well, I know what's going to happen at practice.
Plenty of goal kicking.
Practice. So they could have won by anything, the Rams.
In the end, just lucky to win.
Yeah. Sproul steps inside 50. Puts it up with this wind. I'm not sure that's the greatest idea. And it's just floated across. It did actually have the distance. Interesting.
Sproul's a big kicker to football.
It is a behind Sportal scoreboard. 3-7-25, 6-6-42. That is Port Noarlunga's first score of the quarter, 11 minutes in. In the first quarter, they took 27 minutes to score their first goal.
Mark from Kramer. Haven't seen a lot of him, despite Happy Valley going forward frequently. Short kick's a good one. And this is Cahill. Could be pronounced Kale. In fact, it is Cahill after checking with him himself.
Yep.
Short kick's a nice one. Handball on. And all of a sudden, the ball is moving forward through the Vikings. This is flat. Inside 50 they go. Tucker's at the back. And he just wanders in. Big mark, big goal. And just when Port Noarlunga started to look good, he's kicked his second.
Happy Valley have their first multiple goal scorer. And an important first goal with the breeze. They extend their lead. I'm not sure, 23 points? It was 23. I think our game high was 29. Before Port Noarlunga scored one late in the first quarter to get on the board. But Happy Valley have scored that way a lot, where they've just got the ball off a turnover in defence, centre wing, gone to a more open forward line. In this case, Tucker got behind the rest of the defence, charging back. And someone who spent his junior years at both Happy Valley and Cove, 26 Sandful games for South Adelaide after going through their 16s, 18s reserves, and of course 26 games in the league.
Big moment for Darnell Tucker. Ball's back in the air. Ruckman underneath it. One was O'Connor. Couldn't get the tap though. Away goes Gill. Inside 50 for the Vikings. Mark's taken. Intercept in fact. And we're going to push it out wide with Stewart. Holds up. Doesn't want to play on quickly. The Port Noarlunga fan base behind him. Short kick's a nice one. So there's nothing the forward likes more than fast football. I don't think Port Noarlunga have really shown fast football as the hands in Carmen. He wants to move quickly. Carpeny has showed fast football. Not a lot of them has, as Ortman's wrapped up there. Wasn't that awesome option from Carmen to go to him, but he wanted to move it quickly.
Yeah, I guess with speed comes risk. Fortunately for Porties, the way this game is going, they're going to have to take those risks if they have any chance to get back into it. The longer this deficit, apparently 23 points, persists. It is getting kind of dark here.
It is getting darker.
Darker cloud is moving over. Don't think we're going to have rain.
Well,
that's a great kick out of the pack by the Valley Vikings. It puts Ortman under some pressure. Now to Murphy, and he ain't going nowhere.
If it rains, it rains. Because we're undercover regardless, so
yeah.
I don't really care if it rains.
At worst, we just shut the windows and buckle up.
Although poor Josh is on top and he doesn't have any protection.
Well, we have to get it up to him. We've got a tarp for Josh, which weighs a ton.
It does weigh a ton. Carmen chasing that. Couldn't quite get hands on the football. Still chasing. This is Tucker. Now he relaxes. Tucker's kick inside 50. O'Grady's been good. That could be 50. It is 50. That was really, really stupid from Jack Flett. Not only, well, the guy takes the mark. Why are you tackling him?
Well, true, but if it came off, it would have been a turnover. But he was relying on the umpire to misinterpret, and umpire did not. Ortman in the cricket pitch negotiates that well to O'Grady. He's going to bring a broadcast side to Murphy, who's had touches but hasn't dominated. And I'm not sure that his touches have...
Much effect.
Yeah. Because that's the problem when you come in with high expectations.
So O'Grady with the football now after his 25-metre penalty. Wiseman, the switch may be on here, but they're just too slow, the divers.
And we're back where we
Short
started.
little kicks. They got to get in front of the game here, and slow ball movement ain't going to do that. Opposite of how they played in the grand final. Everyone loved Noarlunga because they were fast and dynamic. They won that game. Behind here on the scoreboard, Carpenter, he's a man who can move the football fast. Now does. Sprouse his option. Through his hands. Should have held the mark. Play goes on. Frisbee Smith has him. Umpire says ball. Good decision too. Had the option to get rid of it and just waited for the ball up call.
Probably justice in the end. I think I did see a bit of an outstretched hand or hands in that marking competition, I think.
Umpires always look for, can the player get rid of the ball, or is he just waiting for the ball up call? Just because you get tackled doesn't mean that that's it. You've got to get rid of it.
Put under pressure was Savage. The kick goes sideways. Porty should get out of trouble. No, they're not. Lovely tackle from Jack Flatt. And in the end, I think that's Singh.
It is seen.
No, it
Ortman.
was Ortman. Had nowhere to go. Ball up. Happy Valley is attacking side centre wing. Tap from Port Noarlunga. Another clearance to the Vikings. Now, they've got some people to work with here. Goldman Glasson. He freed up the player. The shot on goal. Now, just missed the number shooting through.
I missed the number 2, but it's goal number 8, I believe,
I'm going
for
to
Happy
give
Valley.
it to Kramer.
Kramer, number 18. I thought it was 28, so 18 would be correct.
Oh, there's no 28.
There's no 28 today. 8-6-54, Happy Valley lead the defending champions, the Premiers, 3-7-25 on the scoreboard there. That is a 29-point margin, 17 minutes into this Premiership quarter, may I add, and the Premiers are not playing up to standard.
Not quite. Did suspect this might go the way. As mentioned that there was, I'll give you the official numbers. When I did the count, there were 14 players from Happy Valley who played in last year's losing grand final, plus 2 others who won the reserves premiership last year in the Bees. Port Noarlunga, just the 8. So 14 players who were not part of that premiership celebration or that premiership team last year. From the middle, it spills to Rogers. Trying to tap it on was O'Grady. Needs a little bit of help. Wormburn, a kick is all set up for a turnover. No one can pick it up. In the end, it was done by Thompson. On to Spacey. Spacey's found the man. And Happy Valley are putting the screws on this one. A successful conversion kick here. This is Kramer lining up for mine for number 3. Pretty much in the spot where he kicked number 1.
Yeah, exactly right. And one more goal, I think, would really take the heat out of Port Noarlunga. All the hard work, the chipping around the back, and now Kramer's going to walk in for his 3rd goal of the match, and heart sink for Port Noarlunga. Happy Valley extend the margin. It's 9 goals to 3.
Yeah, Nick Kramer, an interesting road. Juniors with the Rams of Marion, ended up with a bit of time at Ranella. Proprietary Risdon, which is up in the Port Pirie.
Port Pirie,
Port Augusta Spencer Golf League. Did the whole shebang with the 4 grades at South, 16s, 18s league and reserves, 12 league games. And
someone's a little cold on the screen.
Yeah, has come up from the under 17 and halves.
It's like the Coldplay Kiss Cam thing.
He was the best in the losing effort, and he's already got 5 goals this season, 3 of those today. Porty's need the next one.
They need the next 3 at least. Ball's in the middle here. And then it's Campler, famous name in these parts. Carmen did the spoil. Should have taken the mark, though. Straight back to Campler, though. So Kapler's going to walk towards 50. Kick to Sproul. Couldn't hold it. And now Happy Valley should deliver the ball outside 50. They do into the lap of Rogers, who's seen a fair bit of it today.
Yeah, he'd be in the medal mix at the moment. You think it's going to be someone with a V on their jumper. Out the back towards Tucker, spills out of bounds. Right by, well, not a sponsor, but I'll tell you what, if you love a good pasture sausage roll.
Yeah, we'll keep quiet on that one, but it is on screen.
It was on screen.
It was on screen. Ball's back into play. Thompson did the fist, didn't really go anywhere. Wanted to collect his football. Spacey underneath of it.
Speaking of those who are sponsoring this, Paladin Sports, our sponsor of the week, Made to Win. We thank them. Also, Pro Build Australia, Air Diffusion Australia, Aussie Inn at Hackham, and Domain & Co. Real Estate.
So Sinclair put his head down, couldn't come up with the football. In the end, it's Happy Valley. Umpire says, "That'll be my ball," right on the far end of his side, the eastern side of the ground. And there's a pretty, look at that supporter in the car. It's as if he's never watched a game of football before in his life.
Be interesting. It's 22 past 4. We're at the 20-minute mark. We've got maybe another 8 minutes, 7 for three-quarter time. That puts us at, we're going to finish after 5 o'clock. Do you think they'll put the lights on?
It's three-quarter time at Christie's Beach, 5-8 for the Saints, 7-11 for the Wine Flyers, Ranella.
Okay.
So they're at three-quarter time.
15 points. Three-quarter time at Aldinga. I'll give you a score from there in a sec.
Players going to move on here. Handball out wider for the Vikings. They're going to surge forward along the outer side. Mark's taping Kapler. One-hander too.
Yep, nicely done.
Not even sure he expected it.
And he looks up, and you could almost see a little bit of frustration. Like, you look at him, you know, what are you doing? Give me something. Again.
Lockie Murphy looking around.
Saying, give me someone.
And that's terrible.
That summarises Port Noarlunga at the moment. The hand pass to someone.
And then just straight down the line. There's a fight going on. The camera should turn to the fight.
Yep.
And that is real interesting stuff. Port Noarlunga have nothing to kick to. You saw it twice there, especially with the 120 AFL game of Lockie Murphy, who just put his own man, Billy Cook.
So who's it though?
No, we didn't see.
You're going to tell us who'd start a fight with you guys.
We've got Jack Flett from the
we got a
Bellevue
blood
side
rule.
telling us what to do.
So if we're not going to finish, if we're finishing late enough, we need to take a couple of minutes to sort out a blood rule, which of course is time on. So I'm going to suspect we're going to see some lights on before we're done tonight.
Tell you what, if you look at the lights, there are 5 lights on each pillar.
Yeah.
So it's not really doing a hell of a
I
lot.
don't think you'd play Friday night football here. It was Paredes, I think, coming off with the blood rule, replaced by Kelly for Port Noarlunga. We are having a sub here.
Close is on the ground. We're waiting for the ball to go in the air, and we'll
Tucker
begin
off.
now.
And
Play finally back on after that scrimmage and the fight there across both teams. Throwing their weight around. Murphy, here's a man who throws his weight around. Carpentry, look at that. An excitement machine. When he gets it, something happens. Sprouse sort of half-held. Wants to move it on. Overran the football. And now Little can escape for Happy Valley. Right along the inner wing.
yeah, when they move that slow, it's easy to make sure that Sprouse got coverage in the end, nowhere to move. Liam Hamilton, not showing a huge amount of respect there for Max Crichton. In the way that, so, I think we're good. Thank you. Service.
The service is fantastic from
awesome.
Port Noarlunga.
We got to come back.
The way Port Noarlunga are playing at the moment, it may not be in finals. That's a big call for round 3.
I'm not too sure about that.
They're not playing up to standard so far against both Ranella and the Vikings.
This is sort of a game to be in top 3 with Flaggies, who have an easy start to the season, and Ranella, who seem to form team.
So Carmen Cops went a little high. Umpire's called for a ball up. I'm not liking what the Cockle-Divers are producing so far. They've got to change something. They've got to turn it on. Put Carpentry around the football. That man's got spirit as Little's wrapped up. Sort of got a bit of a punch to the side of the face too. Umpire didn't see that. Came from Kapler.
And Port Noarlunga are trying to
Fire themselves up.
Yeah, get physically back into the contest.
Slow with the tap and another ball up. Sims laid that tackle. And yeah, maybe that fight will help push them forwards. Spur the Cockle-Divers on. Right in front of us here in the commentary box. Little's around the football. Had it, lost it. Port Noarlunga's opportunity. Through Dix. Dix can go long, sprouts his target to 2-on-1, crashed the pack. In fact, it was pushed in the back.
Alrighty. 25 minutes gone in a low-scoring quarter.
This is Riley Jones, I believe.
Port Noarlunga have kicked one behind this quarter. Happy Valley have kicked 3 goals. 3 goals, 3.
Pushed up towards the inner ring. O'Connell didn't know he had it. Handball came from Little. Now Frisbee Smith gone. Now, no.
Well, it was interesting. He did get a handball away at the point of tackle, so
I didn't think that was a handball.
you could probably make the argument that
He took him on and he got caught. I think that should have
except the
been
ball was with a teammate.
holding the ball, in my opinion, from Alex Garlick. Both umpires have been really good this
We
afternoon.
need a replay. We need a replay.
We do need a replay.
Bicker and argue about for the next 5 minutes.
Should yell at them to reenact it. O'Connor with the ruck. Kick from Little. Didn't go anywhere. Murphy. Handball over the top. That's how you go forward. Through Carmen. Short kick. Stabbing pass. Probably wasn't to the right man. Play's going to move it on all the way back. Cockle Divers with the numbers. Salai. Handball. Murphy. Murphy's got to get around the football here. So too Carpeny. Handball round for Frisbee Smith. Never heard of a guy called Frisbee. This guy may run like one. Pushed it high, long, wide. Good kick. And Flett can spot a target. 1-on-1. Strong hands. And that came from Jack Goodman-Glasson on the 3/4 time siren. Just to rub salt into the wounds for Port Noarlunga.
Well, it's going to be a challenge.
This to make it a 41-point lead.
The breeze, it's not going to be at his back, but I think it might be one if he puts it out in front of the goal, aims for that right, the far goal post. The wind should bring it back in. We'll see. He's from the 25-metre dash, and he's dobbed it. Happy Valley are almost home. A 4-0 quarter. They have a game-high 41-point lead. It's the Battle of Hastings. Oh, it's a battle right now. Yep. Josh is on top of it.
Bit of argy-bargy between the two clubs. Heat firing here. Cockle Divers are 41 points down. The grand final rematch here on Anzac Day as we respect the fallen and the men and women who did and still serve our country well. Second goal for Jack Goodman-Glasson. Last of the third quarter as Fitzy walks out and says, "Separate, boys, separate."
So you call that a melee? You should have seen it back in my day. Tell you what Fitzy's saying. We'll take a break. Hope you're enjoying the Southern Football League. Thanks to Filming Footy and Paladin Sports. Bit dash.
Cameras on him. Maybe he's asking for advice on the best players. He's certainly asking a few around. You're meant to be making the decision, mate. My co-commentator has left us here after heading to the toilet, which must have been a longer stop than he would have liked. I'll tell you what, for a man who's supposed to be equal in this, he's certainly taken the side of Happy Valley right amongst their coach's box here as he starts to wander back. I do have some live scores for you. 3/4 time, Christie's Beach, 5 goals to Ranella, 7. Ironbank, still yet to score. Flagstaff have 18 goals on the board. We're set here for the final quarter of last year's grand finalists. Port Noarlunga took the cherries on that day. They're going to be a hell of a lot of an effort to make it sure today. 41-point margin, 10 goals to 3. We're underway. Phil finally joins us back in the commentary box. Both 22s do the rock work. We are up and away. Spacey forward of football. Inside 50. Mark taken from the side nicely. And this is Goodman Glasson. Phil, what are you doing on the Happy Valley coaches?
Getting a bit of intel to help with the medal decision.
It doesn't look very good as a neutral, especially when the camera's on you.
No, it's just getting their thoughts as to who they think some of their best are. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody in our contemplations.
So, played for Ironbank last year, Goodman Glasson. Played for Hectorville the year before. Now at Happy Valley, kicked 4 of the 10 goals of the Vikings last week. Already kicked 2 today. Can wander in, and I gave him a big pump up, or to kick it out on the full. 41-point margin here. How many goals do Happy Valley need to kick to win this game?
Nah.
I mean, potentially, but maybe 1 or 2 more may just seal it.
Well, put it this way. What are we? 41 points. 7 goals is what Port Noarlunga have to kick, and they've kicked 3 today. So, yeah, well, Port Noarlunga have to kick 7 before Happy Valley have to kick 1. But we're only 80 seconds, and for the first time in this quarter, it's Port Noarlunga ball with Zach Sprout. Right in front of your filming footy team.
Goes short again, no options forward. Really, Sproul should be kicking to Sproul.
Can't kick to himself is one of the problems that we do have. Yeah, as you can see, packed line, and actually likes a fortune. It's ended up in the hands of Captain Kelly, one of the captains for Port Noarlunga, who has a chance to get the important first goal of this final period.
So Kelly's going to wander in from just outside 50. Take a big roost. Hadn't seen so much of it today. This to make all the big moments. A captain's effort right on the line. Port Noarlunga touched that through themselves. Goal umpire and field umpire Alex Garlett confirming the crowd are involved in this. Could be a goal. Touched, minor score.
What was that about? That's 2 we've seen a team butcher on the line. And Port Noarlunga, well, they need everything to go their way.
Plays goes on. Lots of pushing and shoving in that realm as Reece Strenner, who also hadn't seen a lot of it today, has held that tackle. As Phil and I start to look at our best players and start to see which names we have in mind, maybe a couple, especially heading the way of the Vikings.
There's one right there, number 9 for mine, Cooper Rogers, who led that clearance. He's been in and under all day. Noticed a lot of that in the third quarter. He'd be my selection. Spacey's been busy. A forward maybe could bob up. Kramer with 3. If he kicks a couple 5s, a bit hard to ignore. That's my thoughts at the moment.
A few players who may have a bit of a speech after the match as moved forward from the Vikings. Intercepted Murphy's opportunity. Goes long, one-on-one in the goal square. And unfortunately, Sinclair couldn't do enough there. Murphy needs to have more touches. He needs to be full-time mid in this last term if they are any hope.
Yeah, and kicking it to the line is not going to help. It's too easy for the Vikings to clear forward. We've got to apologies for the shaky camera at the moment. Hopefully Josh can settle things down as he moves about, resets up there. Thank you. As Spacey, couldn't get hands to it, got the tap down. Frisbee Smith kicks around the body, caught one over the top. That's heading the Josh direction, but getting in the way is Hathaway with the mark.
Strong mark going back with the flight. These rails on the boundary line can hurt, particularly if you hit them with your head. Play goes on. Port Noarlunga right up towards 60 metres out. Perfect spot for Carpeny. Maybe should have flown himself. In the end, he weighted down. Kick smothered. Frisbee Smith sort of caught a high one round the shoulder. Play moves on. That came from Howley. And now Sin from behind. Couldn't hold the tackle. Kick from Ryan. Vikings doing everything to get it out of there. And they finally do. This could land on our heads. Hathaway again.
We've got a player down with cramp momentarily. I caught an under-18s game south of Norwood at Noarlunga last Sunday. There's a fly! I think you've got to touch the football, and that player's down. I might get you to watch the footy. I'm just going to keep an eye on this player. Ollie? Yeah, because it's...
So plays along the outer wing here. Couple of options. One there for Stringer. Had it, lost it. Port Noarlunga is going to keep on running with the football. Murphy may have to turn back after 2 bounces.
It's Space. It wasn't Spacey, so it was Riley Jones who went up. Yeah, I do apologise for the mic at the start. I think I got it fixed. Let me know if it's not. Even the artists with the kick inside 50.
Strong hands.
Grab. Goldman Glasson. And that's a lovely inside pass to a high percentage shot. Albeit with a bit of distance, was going to be straight in front.
Goodman Glasson's been clinical when he has the football.
And this will be Liam Hamilton. 15 and a half minutes gone, final quarter at Aldinga. The Sharks are on their way towards their first win of the season. They lead Happy Valley by 29 points. 11-8-74. The Emu 7-3-45.
Hamilton's going to wander from 50. How's the kick? Looks strong. Umpire slightly moves, then comes back. Could be touched. Happy Valley scream. Umpire gives the all clear. And maybe that's the final killer blow for the Vikings.
Not yet.
Well, Vikings fan giving us the fist pump as they go past. I was a bit worried for a moment, but he's just happy. Okay.
Oh, you can't say that. Man with his dog and his tattoos.
Yeah, okay. And one hand with the beer, one hand with the leash, one free hand to give us the fist pump.
Typical local football supporter there. He's thrilled.
That's what it's all about.
11 goals to 3 here. If you just joined us, Happy Valley been in front after kicking the first 4 or 5 goals of the match. They now lead 11 goals, 6-72 to 3-9-27 against last year's premiers, Port Noarlunga, who will go 1 win, 2 losses. The opposite for the Vikings. As Kapler surges outside the centre square. Couple of plays, went back with the flight Carmen. Couldn't actually get hands on the football. And Carpeny is it. Goal. Port Noarlunga need about 15 more of those. But he'll enjoy the prize. In fact, it was Callan Ortman who's kicked the goal. His first A-grade season featuring in the best players for the first time last week as well.
Yeah, played some under-18s footy last year, 3 games. Played some underage footy for Porties. 1 A-grade game last year. It's his 3rd this season and his 2nd goal. Goal last week, goal this week. Porties, takes it away from the game high lead, but still trailing by 39. 8 minutes gone. The setting sun posing an interesting view, I would suspect, Ollie, for those sitting on the western side.
Kramer in the middle. Had a lot of football today. 3 goals for Kramer, 2 in a short space as well. And now Jones sort of got the handball away. Cahill comes through. Really nice stuff from Stringer. Now he's getting involved. Reece Stringer, Hamilton waits for Jones, who's got the football from a right foot, left side. It was all there for him. In the end, just a minor score. And the Port Noarlunga crowd are making some noise here, probably for the first time in a while.
Now, I should add that it's they've got their Masters Sponsors Day today for Port Noarlunga, so they're here in numbers. So lots of kids, which was great. Had the scoreboard dedication, and I have been reliably told on Anzac Day, post-match, what do you think there'll be in the club rooms on Anzac Day?
Poppies, lots of beer.
Lots of beer, yep. Poppies, there's a few there actually, but that's
a bugle.
more November 11. 2 up.
2 up.
2 up.
I don't even know how to play 2 up.
It's reasonably simple. It's, are we going to have 2 heads, 2 tails, or split?
Is this something from the 50s? Nowadays, people play Fortnite and Twister.
Mate, it's something from the first Anzacs.
The very first
It's not
Anzacs.
from before then.
Going all the way back to World War One, where our valiant men and women served. Kramer already has 3 goals directly in front. One hand on the medal. Kramer's kicked his 4th, and Valley have 12 goals on the board, and it's getting really ugly for the Cockle Divers.
Well, Kramer's kicked 4. Port Noarlunga have kicked 4. I'm not sure if he can do the 9 behinds part that Port Noarlunga have done to beat them single-handedly. So yeah, he's in contention.
Absolutely, he's in contention. 4 goals can't go underestimated. But there's been a really good performances. The captain, Harry Spacey's been through everything. I've liked Riley Jones's game. Darnell Tucker as well has kicked 2 goals. And also your man who you keep bobbing up, that is Cooper Rogers.
Yeah, Cooper Rogers and Kramer. So we've got it down to 5.
5.
We've got 15 minutes
To pick our
to
Anzac
pick our
medalist.
Anzac medalist.
Captain James Stanley Malpas was a respected Wollonga local soldier leader serving in the 27th Battalion in Gallipoli and France. Before becoming the SFL president, Ortman handball through the middle. This is what they've been missing. Sinclair, high kick, no one could mark there. In fact, that was Sinclair. The kick came from Stewart and is pushed out wider to Fles Fader. Hadn't seen a lot of it. Going to have a kick now.
I mean, if you can't give a team medal, but you'd almost give it to the Happy Valley defence. Allowing 4 goals on a visiting deck to the reigning premiers is no mean feat. There's another one for Carl, who's been great today. Another good. I mean, the Goodman Glasson, a long way from home. He has the time to take a bounce. Ran a fair way. Looking. Oh, that might have been the medal he just dropped there in Kramer. You never know. And it's ended up with Dixon, the clearance.
So Goodman Glasson was stretching Howley before. Kicks that there. Short ball. Should have made the distance. Didn't. Ortman moves it on to Dix. Hadn't seen a lot of it. This man has. Kapler, potentially Port Noarlunga's best player today. Push it out high and wide and kick from Sproul. Handballs it on. And Carpenter's going to walk through. Goal number 5 for Port Noarlunga.
Carpenter joins Sproul as multiple goal scorers. Kryson and Ortman have 1 apiece. One of my little bugbears, Ollie, electronic scoreboards are fantastic, except when they start doing fireworks when there's a goal and you want to know what the score is. But, yeah, so I've got that. That's 5, okay. 2 for Carpenter, 2 to Sproul. Crichton didn't kick a goal, that's right. Okay. And Ortman has 1 as well. So that's just 3 goal scorers for Port Noarlunga to this point. Margin back to 40.
40 is still a long way off the target. That's another 8 goals Port Noarlunga have to kick while keeping a team who's kicked 12 in their own right, goalless, scoreless essentially. Umpire Alex Kerr in the middle. It's got a great name, Alex Kerr. Really rolls off the tongue. Balls up. Salai and O'Connor in the middle. Got a couple of players. That's really nice from the Valley midfielder. And we'll move on to Darnell Tucker. Short kick, man rain at it. It's Oliver in the end. Sebastian Oliver, who couldn't hold the mark. Probably should have. Going to have a ball up here. Just inside 50.
So that was Bailey O'Donnell at the bottom of the pack for the Vikings. Kapler, the clearance. Will probably end up being one of, as Kramer grabbed it, not paid the mark. Valleys have got enough numbers to go back. Now they'll go forward. Straight back, I think, to Kapler. Kapler to the outer wing.
This is Carmen here. Hadn't seen a lot of it today. Now he'll go inside 50. Sits it on someone's head. First big moment for Carmen. And this one lands in the lap of Sinclair, who's a big boy, a tall boy, taller than Sprout, if you take a look at the screen right there.
Yeah. Sinclair had a shot or 2 earlier. Hasn't kicked the goal today. Hasn't kicked the goal this season.
He did.
Last kicked the goal in August.
He kicked 51 goals last year in the B grade. He's a great addition if he can get them on the board.
August 2024 was his last goal.
That's probably when their
limited
season ended.
chances since then.
Sinclair has the kick. Umpire just looks straight into the air. It's goal number 6 for Noarlunga. Is that the first time they've kicked 2 in a row?
I think they kicked bookends in the first and second. I think they kicked the last of the first and the first of the second.
Sinclair's got his first goal of 2026, first one in the A-grade team after 51 goals in 2025 for the reserves. Ball's going to come back into the middle there. Unfortunately, I haven't got enough out of Sinclair today. Haven't got enough out of Sprower as well. Kicked 10 last week. He's kicked just 2.
Yeah. Well, it's a different week. Last week, Happy Valley at the end of a 37-point loss to Ranella would have been feeling a bit down on things. They'll emerge victorious today. Port Noarlunga, well, they had the thumping win at the Emus. Back to earth today. I'll give you some ideas of who they've both got coming up in a sec. There's my man Rogers with the clearance. Pass out to Frisbee Smith. Didn't connect. Here go Port Noarlunga forward through Crichton. Out of bounds. Yeah, that is out of bounds.
It was out of
bounds. How
bounds.
could that not be out of bounds? I feel like Brian Taylor. If you remember him going off one.
Yes, that was a big of Carlton game.
Anyway, it's a stoppage. No damage done. There's your Sportal scoreboard. Valley's 12-7, 79. Port Noarlunga 6-9. 45. You're with Phil Hurden and Ollie Riddle.
So 15:27 on the clock. Happy Valley destined to win this one. Big clash, 3v4, as I mentioned earlier. That ball came from Little. Didn't really get a handball away. Didn't have much prior. We'll ball it up now. And who do Port Noarlunga have next week?
Yeah, I'll give you the rundown. Port Noarlunga.
I can tell you, Christie's Beach.
Christie's Beach, not much of a journey for them. Last we saw, the Ranella was in front there, but Christie's Beach were not being embarrassed. As a kick forward, lots of Vikings. Will they concede? Will they turn over? No, they're going to clear it out. What teamwork under pressure at defence. They've been really good today. Through the hands of Thompson.
Here they go.
Support. That's Gutman Glasson, who's playing a bit further upfield.
Kramer's moment.
He's laying a tackle. Can't just seal it. Football's getting a little loose as we'd expect at the 16-minute mark. Kick into the pocket.
From Crichton.
Crichton has missed badly.
Who holds his knee and blames his bad knee.
So Port Noarlunga at Christie's, and then they host Cove and Ironbank. So 3 games they would consider winnable to get their record above 500.
Christie's is probably the only team so far who have taken it up to Ranella. That game's happening right now. We will get final scores in the coming minutes.
Happy Valley, meanwhile, are back home next week against Ironbank, who are getting a thumping by Flaggers.
18 goals to nothing at 3/4 time.
Then round 8, I think we're going to be there. Flagstaff Hill, Happy Valley, always a rivalry game, and you'll see it streamed on Filming Footy.
So handball came from Sebastian Oliver all the way back to Tucker. Tucker has the kick just over the head. Couldn't be marked there from Ryan. Ryan's got Spacey, who's been really good today at number 4. Safe hands from Goodman Glasson. And he's kicked 3, I believe.
You missed a couple too.
So he really could have had the Anzac Day medal, Captain James Stanley Malpas medal.
I think 6 guarantees you, 5 makes your favourite, 4 puts you into the mix.
Well, Kramer's kicked 4 himself. 1 more could potentially seal it for him. Goodman Glasson's playing further up the ground in this last quarter, as we spoke about.
18 minutes gone.
18 minutes gone. This would really put his name in contention too. Playing a pretty good all-round game, Glasson. And the kick is just a little shy. Minor score for Glasson, Goodman Glasson. That takes the Vikings 12-8-80 to 6-9-45. 18 minutes to go. I'm not going to say it's a thumping, but it's a very comprehensive win.
Mark Wheaton, president of the Morford Vale RSL, will be presenting the medal at game's end. We will bring that to you on Filming Footy. We'll also give you hopefully the final scores from around the grounds. We're pretty sure we know the 4 winners, and we'll try and work out a ladder for you before we sign off. So a big post game, don't go anywhere. Carpeny from 50. Kick. Happy Valley defence. They have just been so solid.
Reliable,
today.
sturdy.
This in the range of Kramer, Frisbee Smith, who lays another tee. probably one of the plays of the day with his solo tackle in front of us. Spills out of bounds. Touched. Will be a throw in. 19 gone to the final quarter. The Vikings are home.
It's going to be a big celebration, not just here at Port Noarlunga for Anzac Day, but the Vikings will go home with their own chocolates, their own red roses. And Carpenty there, as we hear the gazebo go next to us. That's close. His kick, not quite perfect. In fact, very far off it. Spacey there. Handball moving on. They're so good with the linking up play, the Vikings. Just totally outplayed him on the transition. That move was silky smooth. Man on his own. This is, who is it?
Goodman Glasson.
Goodman Glasson. And who just rolls it from 40. That's goal number 3 for him. An all-round outstanding game for Goodman Glasson, who kicked 4 of Vikings' 10 goals last week, 65 goals for Hectorville in 2023. Played for Ironbank last year as well. This guy's a star as he rolls off onto the bench.
And gets to take a breather. Yeah, 132 games for Hectorville, 231 goals.
We can
answer
honestly,
2017 and 2024.
As he wanders in to high-five his coach, which is Andrew Cook, who's been there for a few years now for the Vikings. We could almost interview him here. He's right in front of us. In fact, we might be interviewing him
he
later.
snubbed us, didn't he, not Josh and I, we got the footy manager.
Oh, bit of spite.
It's okay, no, it's okay, it's all good.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure about
Just
that.
depends on when we were there and when he could be there. You can see the shadows at Port Noarlunga. Kapler with the nice pass. It looks all so easy when it's all over, and Zach Sproulers has a chance to set up for 3.
AFL scores 56 points into the last quarter for Collingwood against the Bombers.
Okay. Earlier, Hawthorn over the Suns.
Sprouts kick, former Giant, as we mentioned before, 17 games for them. He'll be kicking from just inside 50. Hasn't seen a lot of it, hasn't seen enough of it, but he is a good kick when he gets his moment. So Port Noarlunga have put a few goals on the board. It's their 7th goal, but they still trail Happy Valley comprehensively.
Do you want to thank the sponsors? Of course, Paladin Sports, a great sponsor of today's game. Paladin Sports, we know sport. Renowned for quality custom teamwear, reliability and service. They make ordering easy, they deliver on time, and they make sure everyone wearing Paladin feels like a pro. Also want to thank the broadcast sponsors throughout the season on filming footy here in the Southern Football League. Pro Build Australia, Air Diffusion Australia, the Aussie Inn at Hackham, Demand & Co Real Estate. There are major ones, along with Dartfish Live Stats, the Sportal Scoreboard, what a day for them, Classic Clashes, UTF Trailers, we're enjoying them today, Archie's Footwear, and Filming Footy.
From the middle, straight out for Happy Valley, looking for one last hallelujah ride. It's
Here we go.
Flat and marks taken from your man, potentially our captain James Stanley Malaps. Sorry.
Cooper Rogers has one.
Has 1 goal already.
2 goals and a mighty midfield performance.
Is that enough? We can't say it out loud, but potentially...
In the mix. Along with 43 other players, I guess.
He's certainly in the mix. This could cap off...
Could the kick decide it?
I reckon the kick might decide it. Fantastic display. Rogers from 50, dead in front. Could there be a medal around his neck? Not yet. Minor score.
All right. How long have we got? And we're joking about it. We're just, because we're stressed. 23 minutes to go.
Full-time at Christie's Beach. Bice Oval full-time, 8-11 Christie's Beach. Lose by 3 goals, 11-11 Ranella, who remain undefeated.
Well, Christie's Beach 0-2, but they've been 2 pretty good efforts. We saw them against Cove push it all the way. Here's a snap and a goal. I've got that as Jack Flett. It's a late one, and Happy Valley are toying with the ton this afternoon. This is someone coming for our vote. Can we write it down?
Right, our vote has been casted.
Okay.
Fitzy and the SFL president have whispered to me, like they're from
I'll tell you
Scooby-Doo.
what, that's a precious that you got. The Prez and Fitzy. wanting a decision.
Well, they asked me, do I have any ideas? So they didn't have much hope in us.
Okay.
Maybe a few different people will get their opinion.
I overrode my thought and just gave her your thought, but that's okay. That's easy.
Well, I think we have a shared
I can
thought.
punch this pilot my way and wash my hands and say it was Ollie.
All right, fine.
No. I agree with your choice. So we will. If anyone else wants to criticise it, we'll take it as a team. And we've joked about the medal a bit. It is, to me, an honour to win it.
Absolutely.
And that's why we've got to take it seriously, and that's why it's caused us stress. But we do thank the Southern Footy League and Port Noarlunga and the Happy Valley for bestowing that on us to choose.
So Wiseman in defence, kick smothered by Flett, who's played well himself. Wiseman was fantastic in the grand final. Unlucky not to be best on. Sproul was, although Paredes was the crowd favourite that day. Sproul kicked 4 goals, including the sealer, on that fateful grand final
day. When you
day.
kick the sealer, it sort of enhances your chances greatly, I would have thought.
It was from the goal square.
Cometh the man, cometh the moment kind of thing.
That's
no such grand finale here today. It's been Happy Valley pretty much from go to woe. 23 points at quarter time, 16 at the half, 41 at 3/4. And at the moment, they're winning the final quarter into the breeze by 1 point, leading by 42.
So all tied up here. Umpire's going to eventually blow his whistle. Alex Kerr, good performance from the umpires today. Made a couple of really tricky decisions that I reckon was correct.
Okay.
Oh, you got a different opinion?
No. Look, anyone who expects the umpires to be perfect is being totally unrealistic.
If they're not cited, they've played a good game, and these two are very much professionals.
They have not had a say in the result, which is what that's the worst scenario, and I think they've done very well in a big game. It's got a little bit tempered at times, but that's settled down. Give kudos to the umpires for getting on top of that.
Couple of players thrown around there, Murphy and Everin Diaz, as well as Carpeny there.
The end is nigh. 26 minutes gone of this one.
So we've got the Port Noarlunga president just to our right here, not talking to anyone else. Maybe our vote will become the final.
So, Ollie, are you
decision.
ready to scram as soon as the siren goes?
I will be walking out there for our Anzac medal presentation. The mark is taken there from Jordan Thompson, who kicked 21 goals last year. Not one of those, however, came against Port Noarlunga in their 4 matchups, including the grand final. So he will want to kick this, get the cat off his back, unloads from 50, and the crowd cheer. Goal umpire raises 2 fingers. That's off his back. Goal for Jordan Thompson. Comprehensive for the Vikings, who move to 15-9-99 against 7-9-51.
Well, Port Noarlunga have been accurate. I've got them 4 straight goals this quarter, but Happy Valley have kicked 5 goals, 3, 1 point off the ton. It's an 8-goal win. That's as comprehensive as it probably gets between 2, powerhouse clubs in this competition. And while Port Noarlunga go down, it probably bears a moment thinking that back in 2022 they were winless wooden spooners. Their rise through the ranks to win, I think, 5 games in 23, get knocked out of the finals by Happy Valley in the first semi in 2024 and win that premiership last year is a mighty rise. And they've been rewarded by getting to host Anzac Day today.
Stewart to Sproul.
Be the winners of it.
Stewart to Sproul. Sproul could kick goal number 4. Although, 4 goals in a losing side is a fair effort, especially when your team's only kicked 7 at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever want to give an Anzac Day medal to someone from a losing side unless they've just been total class above.
I would concur with that. Sproul's going to strut in. How's the kick? Off to the left. It's a minor score for Sproul. Of course, the Anzac medal was named after Captain James Stanley Malpas, who was a respected Wollonga local, soldier and leader, serving in the 27th Battalion in Gallipoli and France before becoming a SFL president. Also won the Military Cross for bravery.
Wouldn't be too many soldiers that survived Gallipoli and the Western Front.
Well, yesterday
the carnage there was incomprehensible to us.
Yesterday I was learning of a soldier who survived Gallipoli, France, not Vietnam. He then got shipped off to Papua New Guinea on the way home and then managed to come back, which is an incredible feat. But of course, the men and women who serve our country do a fantastic job, as the mark is taken by Kapler, who's been well today.
I'll tell you what, Kapler didn't notice for a moment that there was nobody on the mark. He could have almost strolled into goals there, but you can see there the vision that Josh is providing you, our great cameraman, that this is a pretty gettable goal, the kick from 30.
So Kapler's new to the side from Victor Harbour last year. Kicked 25 for them, kicked his second goal for Port Noarlunga now. And it's high fives and smiles, but most of those smiles come from Happy Valley.
Yeah, Kapler was a Port Noarlunga junior, played league footy for South Adelaide. Victor Harbour were the great Southern Football League premiers last year, so blue and white were the colours to wear last year in the South in the footy.
Not many teams you see rocking around with blue and white either.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely is
well,
the right
AFL's
response.
got North Melbourne, Geelong and Carlton. That's 3.
Well, 6 points on the board for Ironbank. No goals at the end. I mean, light blue and white, not navy blue.
Royal blue.
Royal blue. 174 points for Flagstaff. 24 goals for their end result. Wow. Comprehensive win up in the hills for the Flaggies, who won about 4 or so premierships only a few years ago in a row as well, may I add. Crichton's got to get underneath. Jumped up, perfect technique, couldn't hold the mark. Straight through him though. Wrapped up, got the arms, holding the football. Riley Jones makes a name for himself as the final siren blows. 15-9, 99, 8-10, 58. Happy Valley, winners of the grand final rematch.
All right, Ollie, as you prepare for the to give us audio for the post-game ceremony, let me walk you through some goal scorers for this one. Of which there were a few in the end for Port Noarlunga. I've got 8, 3 multiple goal scorers, Gary Carpenter, Jaden Kapler and Zach Sproul, singles to Zebediah Sinclair and also to Kalen Ortman. For Happy Valley, I've obviously gone over a little bit here because I've got, that might be why. I'm missing a couple, I think. I have got singles to Cahill and Cooper Rogers. I've got 3 to Goodman Glasson, 4 to Nick Kramer, 2 to Daryl Tucker, 2 to Liam Hamilton. And when I get that, there's 13, so I have missed a couple. And Play HQ will update that, thankfully, when you check that tonight. We'll mention all the goal scorers in the SFL for review tomorrow. So our winners, round 3, Anzac Day football in the Southern Football League, thanks to Paladin Sports on Filming Footy, is done. The winners: Aldinga, 40 points over Morford Vale. Ranella, handful of goals, if that. Narrow win over a competitive Christie's Beach. Flagstaff Hill, the absolute domination of Ironbank Cherry Gardens. And here was Happy Valley by 23 at quarter time, 16 at half time, 41 at 3/4 time. And that was the final margin, 15-9, 99. Port Noarlunga 8-10. That's 58 by 41 points. The games next week, we'll mention these. Happy Valley go on to play Ironbank with confidence. Port Noarlunga travel to Christie's Beach. That will be a challenge. The Saints are playing decent football, just need to win. Flagstaff Hill, Morford Vale, you dread what that might lead. And our game of the week, Ranella, pushed by Christie's, play Cove, who beat Christie's. So that will be a fascinating game. Aldinga.
Club today, obviously Anzac Day,
We'll go
and coming off the grand final replay. Involved with Anzac Day and the RSL has been unbelievable for us today. Thank you very much to Happy Valley. Always tough when we play you boys. We always know it's going to be a tough game. You boys were on victors today and did very, very well. Congratulations, lads. Thanks for coming down to Port Noarlunga. I now want to introduce the president of the Southern Footy League. Oh, we're going to go to Mark? Okay, I'm going to introduce the president of the Morford Vale RSL. Can you please put your hands together for Mark Wheaton? Thanks, Vincy.
Good evening, everybody. I won't bore you with too much, but in some cases it needs a little bit of explanation about the medal that's being presented here this particular time. It's named after Captain James Stanley Malpas, MC, Military Cross. He was First World War, and he was wounded, came back to Australia, settled in Noarlunga, and he was president of the Southern Football League for 2 years. 1928 and 1929. And then earlier this century, back in 2004, the Southern Football League decided that they would name a medal in his honour. And the idea of that medal is to basically recognise the player of the day who shows the most Anzac spirit. Doesn't have to be the best and fairest for the day, but the one that shows the most, call it teamwork, all the good things in life that Anzac reminds us all of. I'd like to thank the Southern Football League for continuing this on. It's absolutely brilliant. Morphevale sub-branch has been sponsoring this since its inception, 2005, and we're only too happy to be still involved and keep sponsoring it. Lest we forget, I'd like to hand over to Steve Greening.
Thank you. Okay, today we witnessed a game played with incredible heart and courage. You didn't just play for a win, you played in a way that honours the legacy of those who served. I'd like to thank the RSL Port Noarlunga / Christie's, and on behalf of the RSL Morphevale and District Branch, we are fortunate enough to have President Mark Wheaton to present the Malpass Medal. Today's winner for the Malpass Medal goes to number 9, Cooper Rogers, Happy Valley. Well done.
Just like a big thank you to Port Noarlunga Football Club. Every time we play you boys, it's a bloody slog. You guys give it a red hot crack. Big shout out to the Valleys. I thought everyone put their best foot forward today, gave it a red hot crack. Obviously such a special day. And I would also like to thank all the supporters for coming out and making it such a special day. So thank you.
Thank you everybody for coming out today. Enjoy your Anzac Day.
That's yours, the butt. Being the best on ground in the Anzac spirit. And very heartened to hear the cheer from the Happy Valley players that they kind of agreed with that sentiment. And congratulations to Coopers. With a bit of luck, Ollie Riddle, we've got an Archie's, and we've also got the iconic Dartfish beanie. What a combination. Number 9. Ollie trying to find his way there to have a quick chat. So the winners today, round 3, Flagstaff Hill. What a thumping over Ironbank. The Falcons, I think, will sit top of the ladder, 3-0 on percentage. They'll be joined by Ranella, also 3-0, not as much of a percentage. 2-1, Happy Valley. We've got wins to Cove, they're 1-1. They'll jump into the 5 tonight on percentage, I think, because Ironbank with their thumping will drop out. Christie's Beach will still have 0 wins, as will Morphevale. Aldinga has a win. So yeah, Ranella and Flaggies, Happy Valley, Port Noarlunga probably from that. So let's go to Ollie to have a chat to our winner.
Cooper Rogers, we've been pumping you up all day. You're fantastic today. And Anzac Day Mellis, how prestigious is our honour?
Obviously, it's such a special day for everyone, whether you're an Australian born or not. And yeah, it's a real privilege. So grateful to be here and play in such an awesome football league. So.
Now, last week you obviously didn't get the chocolates against Ranella, who are looking really good today. They won again.
Yep.
What's it like to come back against a really tough team that beat you last year, obviously, in the grand final?
Yeah, look, pretty tough to back up last week. We thought, obviously Ranella have taken it up a level this year, which is really exciting to see, really good for the league. And I think the top four will be super strong this year. But yeah, I guess our mindset coming into today, especially that fire in the belly of losing last year, we just wanted to stick to our structure, hit our kicks. We struggled with our skills a lot last week. And I thought the boys showed that real well today, as well as the grit to hit the football.
You've got Ironback next week, who lost by 24 goals today, I can tell you. If there's any part of your game you'd like to improve, not just you personally, but as a team, what would that be?
I think a big focus point, especially this year for us, has been our selflessness, which was a key contributor to our success last year. I think we strayed away a bit from that earlier this year in our first two games. Today was a great showing, but I'd really like to see that go back up another level next week when we go into Ibank. Obviously, we've got a couple new recruits from there that probably going to cop a bit of stick, so we'll be looking after them as well.
Right. Fantastic job today. We've got a couple of goodies for you in our bag. The iconic Filming Footy beanie for best player on the day and the Archie's footwear. It's not really thongs weather, but I'm sure you'll love them. Fantastic, so mate. Much. Well done. Awesome. Back to you, Phil. And we'll get a photo in a second.
Alrighty, we'll get a quick photo of our winner. Congratulations to Cooper Rogers. Got a medal, and good to see Happy Valley have just waited. And we do appreciate the patience of all those people, all those players, as we do that. A wrap-up of our sponsors. We do want to thank the league sponsors, Air Diffusion Australia, So Cloudy Web Design, SA Landscaping Services, Master Plumber Association of SA, Flurio Milk Company, Paladin Sports, Sharon, Sports Centre, All Frames and Mirrors, Belgravia Apparel, the PW Collection, Dartfish, Youth and Sports Foundation, and we do thank, of course, Paladin Sports for their wonderful support. Also, Paul Build Australia, Air Diffusion Australia, the Aussie Inn at Hackham, Domain & Co Real Estate for our broadcast sponsors, along with Dartfish Live Spats, Sportal Scoreboard, Classic Clashes, UDF Trailers, Archie's Footwear, and Filming Footy. Josh, the busiest man in the ballpark, is back. Trying to get his microphone. He's back. Busiest man in the ballpark. Final thoughts, mate? I think we should wrap this one up.
I reckon we should wrap it up. Comprehensive win for Happy Valley. Cooper Rogers, when I picked him up, apparently he loves the media, loves the Instagram. So, fantastic win for Happy Valley. And well done to him, the Anzac Day medalist, the Captain James Stanley Mallops medal.
Well done to you, Ollie. Well done to Josh. Bit of a day with a difference. Hopefully we brought it all to you thanks to Filming Footy with our sponsors. Thanks also to Rowett and John Douglas, our Filming Footy family. Next week, we're off back to Cove. The Cobras and Ranella could be a fascinating game of football. Final word, Ollie, for the week.
Fantastic day, fantastic honour to commentate and play on Anzac Day.
Yeah, indeed. And as a final thought, we do think of those that served and sacrificed on this Anzac Day, lest we forget.